It's the weekend!
Warriors! Warriors! Come on to play!
Yeah, here we go!
Good Saturday morning, everybody. We're broadcasting live from the Weekend Warrior Studios in beautiful Peoria, Arizona. I'm Ralph Romano, not alongside my partner in crime. The legend Neil Lynch is on assignment. I think he's out in California or something like that,
I
right?
think it got commuted, his sentence. Is that what happened?
Yeah, he's in jail somewhere, everybody. We all know that, so had a rough background. But I do have the legend, the legendary Philip something Amorine. You have to look on watch online. I don't know what's going on here. But
Hear thee, my dear Ralph Alpha. I am your Royal Highness, the legend of King Arthur, and sitting alongside me is the Royal Heifer, my wonderful woman.
The Royal Heifer.
Yes, known as my little cow. And together we are, when you put together a legend and a cow, what do you get, Ralph Alpha?
Good hamburger?
You get legendary.
Oh, legendary. I get.
So yes,
that's very good.
I knew you would enjoy that.
That's very good. So if you're on stream, you need to. Well, obviously you're seeing it, but if you're not on stream, you need to go on stream and take a look at what we got going on here because I have no part of it. I had no idea this was happening, but it happened.
Look, we came directly from a Halloween party that was still going on. November 1st, everybody says it's time to clean out your closets. Forget that. We're cleaning out our stomachs from last night. Right. It is a wonderful first day of November here, and we are excited. Make sure that if you are on stream, or if you're not, but if you are on stream, whether that be X, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere that you're watching us live, make sure that you comment right there. Right now, we think our text line's down, but that does not mean that you can't get a hold of the show. Make sure that you comment anywhere. And if you hurt Ralph good enough with a good needling of Toronto Blue Jays lore, we might be able to even put the comment up on the stream for everybody to see. So
we're going to
start to join the show.
Yeah. We're going to start putting the comments that you guys give us online on the stream, so you'll see them. So
absolutely. So join the show and join and be a part of it. Okay.
So happy All Saints Day, everybody. As an Italian, that's what we say.
There we go. Go get a cannoli for your favorite.
Go get a cannoli. So I was putting this agenda together for today's show, and it's funny. I had the Game 7 preview as part of the agenda before the game ever even over.
You did.
I did. Because that's just who I am. But let's start with the World Series because it makes sense that we need to start there, right? And I know you wanted to go back a little bit, so let's go to Game 3 first. You said you had some comments you wanted to talk about that. Let's talk about Game 3.
Who has time to talk about Game 3?
Apparently, Phil does.
We do. Look,
King Phil, or whatever your name is.
Yes, the Royal King. Yes. Listen, my legionaries. The Game 3 was fantastic. Ralph, you have to say that in all of your time watching baseball, that has to be the best game you've ever seen. And also that you didn't see the last 2 innings of it. I know you were asleep.
No, I was awake.
No, you weren't.
Of course I was. It ranks up there. It's definitely top 5. I don't know if it's the best game I've ever seen, but it's definitely top 5.
I mean, it was incredible. I thought that it was a great game heading into inning 6. Yeah. By inning number 10, I thought that it was a legendary game. By the time we finished the friggin' show. Yeah. I mean, what moment do you want to go on? Vladimir Guerrero had 2 moments where he was the star of the show, and it wasn't off of his bat, really. Right. We had Clayton Kershaw redeeming himself all in one. He redeemed his legacy and what he was able to accomplish. Shohei Ohtani over there is getting just perpetually walked, creating a stat line that is ridiculous that I don't think that you'll be able to see ever again in World Series. I think that is truly a stat line that will never be broken because in order for that to even happen, you have to get to bat 9 times in order to get walked or on base 9 times. Insane. And also the fact that the Dodgers won, I think was absolutely crucial because now that we are in the midst of a Game 7, I think that had the Dodgers lost that, they would have lost the series. And I strictly say that. I know that we're in a world where we're already in Game 7, so it could go either way. But strictly because of the way of how much of an offensive juggernaut Toronto is and how much more that they are functioning as an offense currently. I think the fact that they burned through all their pitchers, both teams did, I think that directly affected the Dodgers a little bit more.
I think you're possibly right.
It's hard to say. We're going on and candy and nuts.
The Dodgers weren't going to lose that game. I mean, Yamamoto got up there ready to go the next inning, right? So the thing that impresses me, there's a few things. Number one, the Dodgers bullpen that game was unbelievable. I mean, and the second thing, I thought of you.
Did you?
For all the right reasons.
Yeah.
When they brought Kershaw in when they did. Because I had told you that Saturday that they are not afraid to use him in a high leverage position when they need him. And they used him at that exact time. And he performed.
He provided.
He did what you thought he wouldn't be able to do.
He did. Well, okay. If we're all being honest here, Ralph,
let's be honest.
They didn't use him till they absolutely needed to.
And he
came through.
He did it.
But to a Dodgers man, I don't think anybody went in there thinking, oh, this is the time for me to go replenish my water stock. No. They were worried. Everybody said, is this the best place to put Clayton Kershaw with his legacy, his postseason bugaboos? Does he deserve to be on the mound right now? And maybe even not deserve, but is he the right man to close the job? And gosh darn it, he did. He did his job to a T. He old manned his way to a. Who looked older there, Ralph? Him or Sandy Koufax? I mean, my God. Yeah.
Wow. Did you just hear that?
Yes.
He went up there in all of his glory, and he just old man strength his way to 3 outs. God bless, and out, and continued on. God bless.
He was bigger than the moment, and they knew he would be. And that's all that matters. So that's game 3. That was a very important game in the series.
Yes. 18 innings. Insane.
Right.
Insane.
4 and 5 were what they were. I think the Dodgers, honestly, you think you made the right point there. They struggled to recover from that game 3.
Yes.
They technically lost the next 2 games because of what they did to win game 3.
100%.
Oh, wow.
That's what happened.
I think that it also, especially when your pitcher the next night is Shohei Ohtani, I think that person specifically is taxed the most in an extra inning. In every game he's taxed most, but he's at least accustomed to that. In an 18-inning game where you are full force, where you are on base, I think that directly led to the result of the next game where
it did.
Where he's unable to fully focus, unable to fully recoup, unable to fully sleep. I don't need to tell you how ritualistic that these pitchers are.
2 things. Hats off to Will Klein. Will Klein actually trains over here in Arizona. He trained with my son this summer. Really good guy. So glad to see him have that success in that game. Second thing is you watched Will Smith catch 18 innings, which is unbelievable for a guy to do. Then come back the next night and the next night and Ohtani. The Dodgers needed, and I said this on Thursday to somebody, I said the Dodgers needed the day off because they needed to rest.
Yes.
They were spent after those 3 games. And last night they came out a different team. So game 6 was the different Dodger team. The Dodger team I expect to see for the most part. They still did some things that I didn't like, but for the most part, they looked fresh. And I absolutely love the changes that Dave Roberts did. How big were those things? They were huge. They asked him, I've got a clip. Let me see if I can find it.
Dave Roberts, of course. We're talking about Dave Roberts, who has been much maligned over his coaching career, where he seems to be the quote-unquote weak link of the team that people keep coming back and saying, change him out, because everything else is good.
They asked him last night after the game about Mookie and the changes, and here's what his response was.
And be kind of reactionary a little bit.
That was more than that.
And be kind of reactionary a little bit.
All right, so that's all we got. Anyway, how did that happen? So what he said was, he sat with Mookie and said, I'm going to put you 4th. I'm going to need you in this game. You're going to get a big hit in this game. You're going to make a difference. He told him that the night before, right? And then he took Miggy Rojas and said, I'm putting you in. Right after the game, right after they lost game 5, he went over to him and said, you're going in playing game 6, second base, get ready. Because he knew he needed that guy. And what happened last night? Mookie, the big hit to give him the 3-1 lead. Rojas, the big pick to win the game. And a couple other defensive plays he made. That's great managing, making those changes. And he even said, he goes, I didn't want to overreact and make too many changes because that shows desperation and panic. And we're not in that mode. He goes, so I'm going to make these couple changes to help us win this next game to go to game 7. I love Dave Roberts.
Great management. I think to an overall point that we pointed out on the show, I think even last week, Also great team accumulation, because for Mookie to take that in stride, I think it's the same concept as what the pitchers took on in this postseason, where it's like, guys, we are just maneuvering our way to 27 outs. It doesn't matter if you're starting. Doesn't matter if you're coming in the bullpen. I don't care if you're a legacy player such as Clayton Kershaw. Don't care if you're our biggest closer in biggest paid closer in Blake Trinan. It doesn't matter. We are going to use you however we think to put you in the best situation in order for you and the team to succeed. Same goes for even a Mookie Betts, even a legendary Hall of Famer, probably now a solidified Dodger. It is something to where you have the gravitas, you have the pool, not only as Dave Roberts, but knowing that your team is accumulated and amassed of the guys who can take that in stride and put winning above their own ego. It speaks volumes to the team, and it also speaks to the comfortability and goodwill that Dave Roberts has himself bought with this team, not only just over the regular season, but over his career as the Dodgers manager.
So I have a question for Sports Girly.
Yeah.
Should I call you Sports Dairy Girly?
Sure. Just don't call me a cow.
Well, I did that already, and
you did.
You
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
rammed me with your little horns.
Right after I told you you're dressed as the World Series losers.
And we're off. All right. My question to you is Yamamoto.
Yamamoto, if you're Big Papi.
Yeah, is
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. Here, let me pull my mustache.
Is he the best pitcher not only in the MLB, but is he the best pitcher in baseball right now?
Okay.
I'm going to ask you that. You've watched this guy pitch now a few times.
No, Yay Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay Savage. Yeah.
Yay Savage. Yeah.
You
No,
think he's better than
he was
Yamamoto?
incredible. He looks so stressed when he's on the mound, but he went basically for all of Game 5, I want to say, and he's just unstoppable.
He had a great game.
He looks like he's not going to perform, and then he just pulls off like every pitch. The Game 5 that we watched, it was so pitching heavy, and you're just watching. You're just there for the pitches.
Right.
Like the ball was barely in the outfield, and that's all to the pitcher. I think the Blue Jays have someone really good over there, and I think that then the way the Dodgers switched up their pitching line, like their lineup yesterday, from what you were expecting, like you thought Yamamoto was going to be out there for like 100 pitches or something, and then they kind of switched it up around, so you can tell that there was a response to what the Blue Jays were putting out in Game 5. Like you can tell something was reshuffled.
I think Yamamoto, because Yamamoto's thrown 140 pitches in a game before. And I think they were saving him to get an inning out of him tonight if they need him.
Mm-hmm.
You'll pitch tonight if they need him. You'll see him on the mound. I was surprised to see them pull him, but I think they felt that confident in bringing Robo in the 7th inning because they knew he was the bottom of the lineup. Robo did a great job. He thought Sasaki could finish, which he couldn't. He got through the 8th, but he looked off.
Mm-hmm.
And then Glasnow with that incredible 9th inning with 3 pitches to get him the 2 outs they needed. But I'm going to go to you now, King. What do you think? Do you think Yamamoto, and I do, I think right now he's the best pitcher in the game. Do you think he's the best pitcher in the game?
I would still give right now the credence over to Skubal. I think that there's nothing that he really did in the postseason to take away that crown from me. That solidified what I saw in the regular season. It might be a moot point by the end of this because apparently right now Detroit is apparently going to sell on Skubal, and one of the potential buyers is the Dodgers. We'll talk about that at a
Go figure.
Yeah, no freaking kidding. It's absurd. It's utterly absurd at this point. And I'm not even saying that.
I mean, if your whole team is pitchers, then you don't really need batters, right?
Yeah.
Well, if they can all hit like Ohtani, you don't.
Yeah,
absolutely. But
do you think Skubal's better?
I think Skubal's better. But you know what? The question is not absurd. Like that I think is the overall arching point.
Well, that's the first time you've ever said that to me. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. I'm so happy that you're growing up right before my very eyes. Yes, Yamamoto, I think, has certainly earned his place to where I want to see him now become an ace during the regular season, and maybe that's not the Dodgers way right now, where they have the depth to allow, say, you got a splinter, go out for a month. We don't need you. We need you in the postseason. I think where he's shown his value is maybe he can be to this team what a Curt Schilling was, where when the moment is needed and where that is high at its highest, he can totally just cool down the temperature of the room, go and be absurd and just be pure production. I think that is what role he can potentially play.
Let me show you a chat from, we've got a chat from Blissful Hayes. It says, "Good morning, Ralph, King Filthy, and Sports Girly." Is Jeffrey in charge of the text line? That's why it's not working. Well, either is he right now. So,
Ralph.
Shot. Good morning, Blissful Hayes. So you're talking about, it's funny, the flip your switch theory that we talked about a few weeks ago. I guess it does work. A player that really lines up with that theory Kike Hernandez, right?
Oh my gosh.
I want to play. Hopefully this will play. I guarantee nothing at this point. We're having a lot of technical issues this morning, but I want to play this quick blurb from Kike last night after that amazing play, and then we'll talk about that play.
Kike, the final play. What did you see coming off the bat and with Barger straying off second base?
I was playing a little more shallow than the card wanted me to, but given the situation, really fast guy at second base, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play really, really shallow, and I mean, if he hits it over my head, kudos to him. But I feel like his pop is more to the pull side, and yeah. Somehow I was able to hear that the bat broke even with that crowd. And the crazy thing is that I had no idea where the ball was because it was in the lights the whole time. But given the situation of the game, World Series on the line, and how good I was hitting tonight, I was like, it's going to hit me in the face, but I'm not stopping. I'm not pulling up. And then at the very end, the ball came out of lights and went in my glove. And I try to not throw the ball hard because I was coming in full speed and I was really close to the second base. And I thought I long hopped him, but I give him a really hard throw to catch. And I think it was a better pick than it was a play on my end. It was a better pick on me.
So a couple of things about that. First of all, I love Kike Hernandez. You're a Dodger fan. You love Kike.
What makes Kike Hernandez a unique athlete, and this is for Amy, is that he's one of those rare athletes that are actually cuter out of their uniform. I thought that was unique about him as an athlete.
You know, when we were watching Game 5, all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, who's that?" And I was like, "That is Neil's wife's favorite player."
And I was looking at you, my love.
Yes, that is Neil White's favorite player for the very same reason. Had the exact same scouting report as you, my dear.
Thank you, dear.
Okay, let me regather my thoughts because you kind of threw me off there. But what I love about Kike, it's so true. He's that guy, right? He wasn't a robot last night. He saw what the card said, and he said, "Nope, I know this guy's a pull power hitter. He's not going to have the power to my side. I'm going to play up." That's the biggest moment maybe of this World Series for him to make that decision. Because if he doesn't play up, that drops, and it's at least a run, if not two, right? What a great way of looking at the game and managing the game. This is what veteran experience does. And what a great play, because you know how hard it is to throw a ball coming off full speed? It's extremely difficult.
Yes, that's one of the most athletic feats one can have.
And then Miggy, what a pick at second base. I mean, that not everybody makes that. And I think Poppy said it yesterday. You probably missed that 9 out of 10 times. He got it that one time. And it was just a great pick. Great job. Love the veteran experience. And this is what I mean when I say the Dodgers are built for this. Guys that you can bring in like this, that can make plays like this. You saw Toronto Stadium or whatever that's called there go from we're about to win the World Series to what the heck just happened. It was a shock to their system, right? And that's what you had to do to them. Something had to happen like this to knock them off that perch. And I think we saw it last night, my opinion.
Look, the formula here is simple. If the Toronto Blue Jays are getting bats on the ball, the reason why they win these games in blowouts, the ones that they've won thus far, is because they're able to mitigate. It doesn't matter how good of a regular season and day in, day out defense that you have if you are the Dodgers, where I think that their fielding is very good. It is spectacular. Outside of Teoscar Hernandez, I think every person to a man out there is not a defensive liability. They are probably a boon defensively.
Fair.
And so if they are able to get to your pitching, if they are able to just be able to get a walk and get on base and then Vlad homers and now they have 2 runs instead of 1, then they are able to overcome whatever defensive strengths you may have as a team. So it just becomes a question of whether or not, without the Dodgers ace here, and every pitcher has been seen, every pitcher has been used, every pitcher will be used once again here tonight. Maybe even Yamamoto will still probably be used if needed in a close game. It's just going to come down to whether or not Toronto Blue Jays and their offensive juggernaut that they are, if they can get bats on ball. If they can get bats on ball, it's over for the Dodgers. If the Dodgers are able to make it a fundamental baseball game, that's where they exceed. That's where they don't make mistakes. They aren't the Yankees of last year where unforced errors, where they just have whatever. The Toronto Blue Jays are used and accustomed to being the Mike Tyson of their fights, where they will blow you out where they will make sure that they squish you before you even get a chance to go. The Dodgers had the veteran leadership and the savvy and experience in order to fight back from that. The question is, can they be the Buster Douglas here that weathers the storm and be able to win the fight ultimately in late rounds?
Let's go to the chat again. I've got Blissful. This is not Blissful. This is a Bitter Dolphin fan on the chat. Says, I get it. Baseball players were spent after 18 innings standing around. When they're at
snacking
bat,
in the dugout.
they can go sit down. Large roster. It's so tough. Unlike hockey players in the playoffs who play back-to-back overtime games, smaller rosters. Sorry, no sympathy. So, Rich, I agree with you, right? I mean, you watch I can remember watching the Islanders, and I can't remember who, playing 7 overtimes in the playoffs, right? And yeah, I mean, those guys, that's insane what they have to go through with 4 lines. This is different, Rich. I get it. But to your point where you were just going, I think you didn't see in game 4, yeah, the Ohtani that I expect to see on the mound tonight, right? Ohtani was spent after those 18 innings.
Of course.
I don't feel like he's ever recovered from that. I thought yesterday he started playing a little better, but I think you see a different Ohtani on the mound tonight because of that example, right? And I think it's going to be very interesting tonight with the Blue Jays, because how do they respond to getting their hearts ripped out in game 6? Because that's what happened. They were a hair away from raising that trophy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had it in their hands, and the Dodgers said, yeah, I don't think so. Which is what I expected, because if you look online yesterday, what did I say? This is not new ground for the Dodgers. The Dodgers have done this. They've been there, done that. 2020, 2021, 2023, 2024, I'm sorry. They've been down elimination games, and they've come back every time. And I expected them to win last night, and honestly, I expect them to win tonight. It's just what they do.
This is not a 7-game series. This is not a 5-game series. This is not a 3-game series.
Not anymore.
This is a 1-game series.
It's a 1 game for it all.
And that's where it matters. The Dodgers overall, I would say top to bottom. I mean, you see this across sports right now. Even heading into game 6, are the Toronto Blue Jays just a better team? No, the Dodgers are the better team. The thing that equates this, makes this more equitable to both teams, and why there's a game 7, is because right now, the Blue Jays are the better offensive team, and they are able to go. Right now, the Dodgers are certainly being mitigated. Their offensive firepower is not hitting on all cylinders, but they are mustering their way to wins. They are manufacturing some runs, and they're able to, not all the time, leave runners stranded. The Blue Jays, they cannot stop getting on base. It's just a matter of whether or not they can actually pull through and homer in order to get chunk runs and chunk plays here. One wonders and hopes that, or I guess maybe not hopes, I mean, just for the sake of watching a good baseball game. But one hopes that Shohei Ohtani is not just completely burdened. And I wonder if he has a short leash tonight, simply because you will need his off, and not even for making a mistake pitching wise, but because you want to keep him fresh offensively for in case this goes extra innings. I don't want him taxed just completely on the pitching side and then not be able to perform later in the game if necessary.
Let's be honest. And we've been talking about this now since February, March, right? Really April. The Dodgers have been underperforming all year.
Yes.
They have been a big time underperforming team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying it all year. It doesn't matter. This team is built different. They're built for this. And everybody's been poo-pooing me. You've been doing it.
I poo-pooed you every day.
Yeah, Neil's been doing it. Online's been doing it. And they just think I'm arrogant or this or that. It's not that. It's that this team is different. They're built different. And when it's all said and done, they've underperformed during the season. They've underperformed in the playoffs. And here we are, 1 win away from an underperforming team winning the World Series championship. What does that tell you about the Los Angeles Dodgers makeup? Like you just said, they're the best team in baseball. I don't care how they're playing at the moment. They're the best team in baseball. Now, if the Blue Jays win today, then they were the better team on the field today, but they're not the best team in baseball. I'm sorry. And I know Toronto's going to be going crazy hearing that, but that's just reality. I have a lot of respect for what you've done in this series and what you've done in the playoffs, but you're not better than this Dodgers team. They're better. Win or lose, the Dodgers are better than you. And they're underperforming. You're not facing that best Dodger team right now. You're facing a shell of that team who I would rather be on right now, because you know what? You got Max Scherzer going tonight. That's great. Dodgers roughed him up a little bit last time, but you've got Ohtani starting. You got Glasnow behind him. You got Yamamoto if you need him. You've got Sheehan if you need him. You got Snell that can come in. This is all hands on deck for both teams. I get it, but I'd rather have that Dodger side of it than that Blue Jay side of it on the mound. No doubt about it. You are out hitting the Dodgers, but tonight you're going to face a lot of pitching all in one game that might blow your mind a little bit. Anything happens in a game 7. I get that. Anything can happen. I've seen some stupid game 7s as an LA sports fan, but I'm telling you right now, my money is on the Dodgers to finish this job. And when they do, I'm going to buy another shirt.
Yeah, I wonder if
that's all.
I wonder if they even pitch to Freddie Freeman. I know that's crazy, but like since he's particularly, I would say amongst the Dodgers, he is the most clutch, the singularly most clutch, most legendary player in the clutchest moments.
Yeah.
I would say that he's the one that I fear most, even above Ohtani.
You better fear Will Smith, because Will Smith in the number 2 spot behind Ohtani protects him.
Yeah.
And they didn't have that the first 4 games. And Will Smith is on. And Will Smith's been on all year. He's been hitting the heck out of the ball. And he showed it again yesterday when he got that double. And then, of course, it happened. Mookie woke up yesterday. He got that hit. That was the biggest hit of the year.
I mean, I wonder if it's an aberration or if he actually woke up.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. But I mean, we'll see. But I guess as for me as a Dodger fan, I know as a Blue Jay fan out there, if you lose tonight, you're devastated, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't know that you'll ever get back there. It's hard to get there. As a Dodger fan, if we lose tonight, yeah, it sucks. But you know what? We'll probably be back there again next year. I think the next 5 to 7 years with this team and what they'll add, I'm not worried. I think they win, 5, 6 titles in the next 7 years. I really think that's legitimately going to happen. When a team of this version, as bad as they've played, can get as far as they have, I can't wait until they get all that figured out next year, the year after, and what pieces they add. So a lot less pressure on the Dodger fans than there are on the Blue Jay fans watching this game tonight. Doesn't mean I won't be feeling it. Of course I will. But if we lose, I'm like, oh, okay, well, see you next year.
Ralph, do you have anything to say to Canadians this week?
Not more than I've already said all week.
Good.
I mean, they've talked a lot of smack. I think the one thing about the Canadian fans...
Unwarranted, too. Yes, I'm sure.
Yes, of course it's unwarranted.
Yeah.
They've talked a lot of smack because they see my confidence as arrogance, which you can see it like that. That's fine. It's just a matter of... And I've said this to you a million times. My teams win. As an LA sports fan, you see titles.
Yeah.
I'm a Laker fan. We've won 17 titles. I'm a Dodger fan. We've won 8 titles. I'm a Kings fan. We've won 2 cups. It goes on and on and on, right?
When you're a bandwagon fan, it makes it so much easier to just non-stop.
When you're a Blue Jays fan, you haven't been there since 93,
93, back to back.
So
93.
I get it. I get why you guys are being what you're being, but enjoy tonight. Like I told you we'd see you tonight, and here we are. Enjoy it. Have some fun, because you might not see it again for another 30 years. So really take it in and enjoy it. But like I told you, last couple of days, it takes 4, not 3, to be a champion. So let's see if you can do it. Hey, we actually have a text on the text line. It actually came through. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Let's see what it says here. It's from Blissful Haze. It says Yamamoto needs to step up his game and start hitting like Shohei. Yep. It's all about hitting like Shohei. I agree with you. We should let him go. Anyway, anything else we got to say about this? Any other game 7 predictions? What do you guys think is going to happen tonight?
Right now, I think the person that you're most scared of is entirely
my wife. Oh, sorry. What?
I think the person that you're entirely scared of has been performing, has come out of a mini 2-game slump to start out the series. I do think Vlad Guerrero does pull out a lot here. I do have.
He's a great player.
He is a fantastic.
Yamamoto owns
He's
him,
also
though.
impossible to hate. Like he is just.
I don't hate him.
He oozes
I like his dad
love.
too.
Yeah. He oozes love of the game. He oozes fun. You gotta love that. I gotta go with the Toronto Blue Jays in 7 tonight. But it could go either way.
So you're going Blue Jays.
I'm going Blue Jays.
All right. Well, you're getting dethroned. What you got?
The Dodgers.
There you go.
But I'm not happy.
Why aren't you happy?
Because I don't want you to be right, but I've seen I've seen like the game 5 versus game 6, the difference in like what happened, and the Dodgers switched up something huge between them, and they're going to keep that going. Their players are ready. Like you listening to the players talk after the game, they know what they're doing right now, and they're ready to continue it into game 7. Like they're ready to go.
Well, I agree with you, and it comes back to what we've been saying: is it's been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
They've done this. This is not new.
Mm-hmm.
This is new for the Blue Jays. I know they went to
completely.
a game 7 against Seattle, but they didn't go there like this,
Mhm.
right? This is not the way you want to walk into a game 7.
It's not the same opponent.
It doesn't mean, what's his name? A-Rod feels that, or is it A-Rod or Jeter? That one or two of them both feel this is going to be a high-scoring game, which is very possible. You could see something completely off script tonight and see 2 teams just throw runs like crazy.
I mean, I would
I
love
don't-
that. I love
it'd
a
be
good
exciting.
offensive game. Yeah.
I don't
mean-
think that happens, but it's exciting. if
Well,
it
I
does.
mean, I guess it does depend on your definition of high scoring game because the Dodgers have not been able to crack above 6.
right.
So I mean, the Blue Jays. If you tell me it's a high scoring game, that plays in the game script of the Blue Jays, where they've
Yeah, it
scored
could.
11, they've scored 6, 5, whatever you want.
And we've lost game 7s before, so anything can happen. And this is when you get to a game 7 in any sport, it's whatever, man. Anything can happen. So
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so we discussed Game 7. We discussed the World Series ad nauseum. There were a couple other baseball tidbits I wanted
Ad
to talk about.
nauseam.
Yeah, before especially the nauseum part. There are a couple other baseball topics I wanted to hit before we go.
let's do that.
Just because I found them utterly fascinating. Pun intended, my dear.
I picked up on the.
Should we do a couple of chats real quick?
Sure,
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then you can
Please.
take your nauseum. You want a pill or something?
Yeah.
My wife's got some.
Trust me, it's the Percocet.
She's
Well,
married
when you're
to you.
married to me, you need them. I mean, I'll agree with you. Not Blissful Hayes, but Bitter Dolphin fan says in 1980, the Russian hockey team was the best team in the world, and they lost. Let's hope you're right, Ralph. No, I mean that. Honestly, that's a great example. I mean, that U.S. team had no business beating that Russian team, and they just lost 10-0 to them 2 weeks before that. So anything can happen in a game 7. I agree with
Baseball,
you.
it's very, very rarely the best team. I mean, if that were the case, the Dodgers would be the World Series champion 7 years running. It is the hottest team that wins the World Series.
Neil's friend Shannon Stewart's on the text line.
Oh God.
Is Phil taking a break from his Burger King delivery job?
Have it your way. I love it. I love it. That's fantastic, Shannon.
I love that too. Okay, go ahead. We're caught up.
All right. So this week it came out that there were 2 stories. The first one I want to touch on, and I do mean just touch on because I don't have much analysis for it, but I just thought it's insane.
Okay.
Ralph,
Mhm.
have you ever seen truly in sports a team more dysfunctional than the Los Angeles Angels? And really, they're the Anaheim Angels, but whatever. First of all, they can't even get their location right. Second of all, this week they introduced their new manager, and he is Kurt Suzuki because they were in deep talks with Albert Pujols. And you know why they didn't hire Albert Pujols? They would have, given their druthers, they would have hired Albert.
Why
Pujols.
didn't they?
They didn't hire him because they had a disagreement over funds spent on the team. Is there not something that you want more from a manager who's like, you know what I want is more investment in the team.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that this is good before, especially, and he's humbly coming in as like, I'm going to be a fresh manager. This will be my first time. I want to make sure everything, like the infrastructure is correct around me. You know what? Too much. Forget you, Angels. You're able to spend hundreds of millions for Rendon, for the bodies of Albert Pujols after he was already an MVP, all this stuff, and yet you're skimping on AC air conditioning units over there. It's insanity. And I think most importantly, and what spurred any of this Angels hate that I have, they hired. I've never seen this, Sora. Sports girly. I have never seen another team for a first-time manager, head coach, whatever that position is, hire somebody to a 1-year deal. An incoming head coach, manager, or somebody who is leading the team signed for the first time that they've come on. They're not even like this guy is almost fresh out of the MLB system. He's a former catcher. He's not old. He's not like Dusty Baker over there who'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. 1-year deal. No, this guy's signing a 1-year deal as a first-time head coach. What are you doing? I've never seen this.
Kurt Suzuki.
Suzuki.
It's funny. I remember back in the early 2000s, I saw Kurt Suzuki play for the Midland Rockhounds, AA for the A's.
I bet he was impressive.
He was actually a very good catcher.
Yeah, I bet.
Really, he was a good catcher. That's how I remember him from. They hired this guy because he was the affordable option.
A patsy to fire in 1 year?
Right.
Like what? Like
they didn't have to spend money.
No.
This guy has 0 management experience. 0. He's never managed. He's never run anything except for maybe his household.
He was special assistant to Angels general manager Perry Manizia.
Right. This guy has
Last
no
year.
experience. They got him cheap. He's a good name. He's a really good guy. But he's not a manager. This is the guy that needs to go into the system and start managing at the minor league levels for a few years to get the experience before you give him a job like this. But it just goes to the Angels and what they do. They don't want to spend money on players. They don't want to spend money on management. I'm not really sure what they want to do or why they keep wasting their time doing this, because they're one of the worst organizations in baseball. How do you let Shohei Ohtani go when you have him and you have Trout and you could put some pieces around them and you could have had a mega team for many years? But they decided not to do that. And this just shows, again, they're not committed to winning.
They're not.
And it goes back to what we talked about last week as far as salary caps and spending limits and things like that. This is a great example of a team that's not going to spend the money to put the right product on the field, not only at the player level, but the manager level. But yet they're going to have fans show up because they're in LA or in Anaheim. And there's a lot of people in Anaheim that are going to go watch baseball. So they're going to make their money regardless of what they put on the field. And that's the problem.
That is a problem. I mean, I've never seen Angels fans more staunchly put together, more rejoiceful than when there was that time. Do you remember that little sliver of time where everybody thought that he was going to be selling the team, the owner? When they were just like, oh my God, he's going to do it. Don't whatever you're doing right now, don't you change. If you're wearing the same shirt, we make sure that this happens. And eventually he just came back on his word and never sold the team. It is a clown show. It is just an absolute tire fire. I don't understand how he keeps getting away with it. It is insanity. What a showcase of ineptitude. I've never seen this happen where somebody comes in on a 1-year deal, a fresh coach, fresh manager. Utterly absurd. The other thing I wanted to touch on really quickly.
But wait a second. Sports Dairy.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to call you Sports Dairy.
That's fine.
If you put yourself in Kurt's shoes, would you, if you had no experience, you're an ex-player, and a pro team offers you a 1-year contract to manage their club, would you do it?
It's embarrassing. It's just, no, Phil's right. It's like, what are you doing? And like, this is just showing the whole team is just going to be awful if the management just can't get on the same page about the most basic things.
Right.
And it's like, they're just making all these moves that are like, what? No, I wouldn't take a 1-year contract. I would hold out for something better. And especially for a bad team. If it was a 1-year contract for the Dodgers or something, I'd be like, I'll show them what I got and I can stay in there for the year. And I'll know they'll sign me for longer because they're in this for another 5 to 7 years. This is going to be their hot streak and I'm going to get in on it. I'm not trying to get in on the Anaheim
Angel, yeah.
Whatever they are.
He's
I know what they are.
entering as a lame duck.
Yes, he is.
No, that's the Anaheim hockey team.
I mean, if I'm him, I say absolutely not.
Yeah,
because you're ruining my chances for future management roles. I'd rather go to the minors and get some experience and then get a real opportunity.
And he's not even
this isn't a real opportunity.
He's not even getting paid enough to be a scapegoat. Like if you're getting paid $10 million, sure. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Throw your slings and arrows. I'll take them right now. Yeah.
Okay, we can move. I just had to.
No. I think that's completely valid. The other one that I found to be utterly just questionable management. I think Ralph will love this story.
Oh God.
The Phillies president of baseball operations, Dave Dombrowski, possibly emphasis on the dumb part.
Yeah.
He called into question the fact of his highest paid player, his certainly the face of the franchise, I'd say right now, Bryce Harper, one of the faces of the Make Baseball Fun Again movement. He called into question whether or not he's a quality player. And of course, Bryce Harper responded eventually saying he was hurt by the comment, that he never wants to be traded, that he is certainly loyal to the Phillies, but if they're going to make it a business decision, what are you doing? What are you doing, Dave? You can't say the quiet part out loud. Even if you got Albert Pujols, we'll go back to the Angels. If you got Albert Pujols at age 43, possibly like whatever age he says he wants to be, and he's doing bad, I don't care. You have Mike Trout right now.
Right.
The Angels, for all their woes, at least they're not out there saying, you know what, unfortunately, we can't trade anybody to Mike Trout because nobody wants it. Forget it. What are you doing? You can't say the quiet part out loud and then also make Bryce Harper feel even worse about him. At least Bryce Harper is still giving you something. Yeah. He has flashes. He may have been a contributing factor to why they lost to the Dodgers, but he wasn't the reason. I didn't think that he was like an awful player. To go out and to now publicly come into question, to cause the fire from within the building at the head of the snake is just wackadoo levels of management ineptitude.
Yeah.
You see that a lot in sports, just bad press. You're just bad at what you are giving out to the public instead of working on your things internally. Like it happens all the time. You're right. That was the quiet thing that you don't say out loud. And he said it out loud. And for what? Why are you antagonizing your player publicly? Talk to him if you need to talk to him, but that's not what you want to put out in public.
And it's not like they're looking to trade him. Like, right. I mean, if they trade him this offseason, I will recuse myself because at least perhaps, like, first of all, I'd imagine that now you're soiling your own value as like a trade chip. So I mean, I guess maybe I would jump on them there. But at least it's you acted upon the devil on your shoulder thought that you just happen to say out loud. But otherwise, you're keeping him around. Why would you purposefully disgruntle a player such as him, a key contributor to your team? I have no clue why you would do that. Ralph, you've done things like this before. Why would you do this?
Well, I was going to say somebody else that's not on the show this week did this last week. But anyway, I would say that, number one, this is weird. It's just weird.
It came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense. And then you compared him consistently with Freddie Freeman on the Dodgers. You kept comparing him to Freddie Freeman. Now, Freeman's not on top of his game anymore, but he's still a good player. Okay. And
Sorry,
then
I can't be her.
Harper comes out. Not Harper, grow up hair, dude. I'm hurt and uncomfortable. Rolly, do you need a safe space? Shut up. I get that you don't want your boss or one of your bosses saying stuff like this, dude. I understand it totally. But use this, right? You can use this to your advantage. I mean, if I'm him, I'm probably out in the press going, trade me. I don't want to play for a guy that doesn't appreciate what I am. Trade me.
And then
two things will happen. Either Dombrowski gets fired or he'll get traded.
And Dombrowski's clarification, these are his okay, the whole fire's happened. How are you going to come back from this? Do you know what his clarification comments were? Yeah, we love him. Speaking on the part of Bryce Harper, we love him. We think he's a great player. He's a very important part of our team. Win. So far, we're good. I've seen him have better years.
Yeah.
Ooh, Dave, you might, again, you're not helping yourself.
Yeah, bad comment.
I look for him to have better years. Dave!
Some people are just bad at apologies.
My God.
It's true.
It's like, that was not an apology, man. You just made the fire worse.
You know what?
Could you imagine the Dodgers ownership saying that about Mookie this year?
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I know that we harp on it and people think, like, I'm not a Dodgers fan. I happen to be in the presence of two diehard Dodgers fans, so it makes me, I'm supposed, awash with Dodgers glory over here, so that makes me feel like I'm one. But this is why, one, respect from an outside perspective, the Dodgers' pedigree and acumen when it comes to they don't cause their own fires.
No,
they don't do stuff like this that is just so B-level of why are you managing to make a situation not even worse, but why are you managing to make one and that is generated all of nothing? It is utterly absurd.
You've created chaos from something that never needed to be discussed.
You had all of your own worries to do, and now your job security, because it's, to be quite honest, it's a lot easier to get rid of Dave Dombrowski than it is to get rid of Bryce Harper.
And you're trying to sign a bunch of free agents that you have right now to keep your team relevant.
100%.
And now these guys are going to look and go, well, what's going on here?
Yeah, if they're going to sell out Bryce Harper, why am I signing up for this to be publicly scapegoated?
It's just a weird position to be put in, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see him let go.
I think that is a fireable offense.
Yeah, I think it is.
Like he put together a swell team, a team that we all thought had the best chance to take down the Dodgers, and that may or may not be true as when we go on to figure out the rest of how the World Series goes tonight. But that being said, I'm sorry, you should be held to the highest standard.
Yeah.
Why am I now having to answer questions about my boss questioning me? Like it is completely out of bounds.
I agree with you 100%. That's a good one.
Yeah.
One more take,
please.
The Padres manager, Mike Schilt, he retired out of the clear blue sky. He just retires.
Yeah,
right. And I don't know if you saw his comments, but what he said is during this past season, he experienced poor sleep. Well, so do I. Chest pains every once in a while. I keep telling me it's nothing. Hair loss. Yeah, that's been happening. And now with sports gambling taking the front row, he says death threats from strangers. That's kind of jarring.
Yeah.
We never think about that, right? There's a lot of people out there. We talked about sports gambling last week a little bit that are really, this is what they do. And they wind up losing their cars, their homes, their marriages. They really get into this stuff. But he actually said he experienced death threats from people that lost money on his games. I wonder how common that is. And I guess good for him. He decided, I'm not being part of this anymore. I'm out. So, I mean, he walked away from a really good job. He's done really good work over there. I get it. They didn't have the beer they wanted this year. If Dombrowski was there, they probably would have fired him anyway. But he walked away and said, I don't need this.
Yeah. As somebody who had to sell a car in order to make up for that Dolphins bet I made last year.
Jeez,
that's for you, bitter Dolphins.
There you go.
Fan.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bitter Dolphins.
Look, yeah, I think that we've had a lot of, as of recently, gambling stories to certainly talk about. This is an interesting one. I think that this more so speaks to the gambling culture that we are talking about more than the gambling stories that we've talked about in the NBA. It is fascinating to see where those boundaries are, because in the NBA, I think it's a good microscope and microcosm of the sports world in general, because the access the fans have to the players is so close that you get to see a lot more of these crossing the boundaries, where it's like, well, let's have a discussion. If you call Russell Westbrook, he finds that to be out of bounds, and I think that's funny. I think that's completely inbounds.
That is funny.
But where I think we all can agree that is out of bounds is when you start talking about like his kids, his wife, something like that.
Yeah.
When you talk about gambling, I think it's one thing to be like just yelling to the dude like, "You messed up my parlay," dude. Like that's totally fine. Where it's not cool is whenever you're like yelling animosities towards them, like leaving, like they just lost the game, and you're like, Steph, yeah, you're ice cold, as in like you never hit a thing, like and you messed up my entire life. Get one over, whatever. I think that goes too far in the lines. Like, it is in every single ad. I realize that it's one of those like the terms of agreement thing that we all just glaze over. But gamble responsibly, dude. Like if me and my lovely sports girly over here,
did you just tell the people to gamble responsibly?
I know. The crown.
You?
Wow.
The crown.
There's
is
a story
yours.
here.
You?
Yeah.
I'm putting your FanDuel account on blast.
Yeah, no kidding.
The world needs to see.
Absolutely. Yeah, my personal gambling decisions have been questionable as of late. But that being said, I still made it over here. I didn't have to bike over here. Like if you can't, if you're gambling too much that you cannot afford to lose, that's on you. That is a personal problem. That is something that you need to have addressed. Get better. Yeah, find a better system.
At your age, I took my wife and moved to Vegas. We lived there for 1 year, and I didn't cash a single paycheck because I was that good at gambling. We lived on gambling. It was crazy. We lived on the money that I was winning.
I'm gonna need someone to corroborate this.
She can validate that. It was insane. But anyway, just a little chalk up.
It was a lot easier back then.
Yeah, it was
back in the 50s.
Yeah. So anyway, that's baseball.
That is.
Wow, we did 48 minutes on baseball.
It's been good baseball.
Yeah.
It has. And it just gets better tonight. And we'll talk about the World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers next week in the show.
Absolutely.
So if they win.
And one thing, as we usually do the first hour, we dedicate it to other sports. I do want to touch on a couple of college football stories.
Oh, you got some college football? Let's do it.
Yeah, just like college football. The first one, which I don't have much to comment other than it is, as an ASU alum, it is disheartening to see that with Sam Leavitt's his season-ending injury, so too goes our season. Because I thought there was an inspired football win over in Texas Tech. I thought that was something that could galvanize and bring the entire ASU Sun Devil Nation together. Unfortunately, with Sam Leavitt gone, I think that our hopes of making the season a repeat of last year, an exciting, thrilling finish. I think that we may have another upset in us.
No.
Maybe.
No. Season's over.
But it's sad. It's sad to see it go down in flames.
Did he make this decision? So I heard yesterday, and I don't have the details. I heard he was having surgery.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to have surgery. I'm assuming he did that for his future.
Yeah.
So that he has a shot at actually getting drafted and going somewhere versus trying to play hurt the rest of the year.
Yeah, he actually has a potential. I think he's probably closer to like a third rounder. Than
his stock has dropped this year.
Yeah, if you'd have gone out of last season, I think he would have been a little higher than where he is. Probably a second rounder.
He's probably
like
a third
the Tyler
to fifth
Shuck of last year.
Yeah, he's a third to fifth round.
But third to fifth rounder, and to be honest, I don't know what more he could have elevated to with an injury. I think you risk a Baker Mayfield injury that certainly severs your opportunities to better yourself in your situation. And Sam Leavitt, I think, needs all the help that he can get in that arena and make sure that he starts off on a good place in the next step in his career. I don't begrudge him that whatsoever. It is just
it's the right move.
It is the right move. It's one of the. It's not
if
even
he was my son. I would have told him to do that.
Yeah, it's not a bowl game thing, where like I'm not going to get hurt. That's even another discussion. This was something to where it was certainly serious enough. He missed a couple games because of it and came back, played admirably. If he re-aggravated it, fine, go ahead.
He gave ASU everything he had. It's time to move on.
Yeah, absolutely. The last thing too,
their coach is moving on too, by the way. I really believe that. I think he's gone at the end of the year.
If he wasn't an alum,
he'll be at Penn State.
If he wasn't an alum,
I still think he's gone.
I would agree with you. And he just re-upped. Usually you get like 2 years and then you can do this.
He's got an opportunity to go coach at a major college.
Yes. Speaking of a major college, another job opening since last we talked has opened up. Brian Kelly over there, Mr. I thought he was from the East Coast, but apparently he had a little twang when he first got introduced over there. LSU, go Tigers.
Yep.
He finally got let go, and it is to a man. Everybody does not have a kind word for this man. I've never seen more vitriol for somebody to get fired to say that guy deserved it. And you know what's funny, Ralph?
Jeez.
You know what's hilarious is that in reading the reports on how he got fired, is that he could have gotten saved. He could have been saved and not even been fired. He could have maybe at least made it through this whole season. Do you want to know what got him fired? Was the fact that I forget the position that it is in college sports, but I think athletic director, the AD, comes to the man and says, "Look, we need a scapegoat. We need somebody to take the fall for this. Fire the offensive coordinator." Brian Kelly responds and says, "Forget that noise. I want to fire more." And the athletic director says, No, just the offensive coordinator. That's all we need. Says, heck no. And now that spurs an argument that gets Brian Kelly fired.
That's phenomenal.
He's like, that's not good enough. I need more people to blame
than
just the offensive coordinator. And now who's out? He's out.
That is kind of funny.
That is hilarious, isn't it? He could not keep it in for another 3 weeks. And to be fair, he may just be like completely big braining this to be like, if I'm going to be fired anyways, why not just do everything I can to make sure that I get beautiful?
That's possible. He was done at the end of the year.
Oh, he was not.
I mean, they had playoff aspirations and they're horrible.
The one thing that LSU had to their belt that he was certainly counting throughout the whole year was like, I forget what it was, 18-1 at night at Death Valley, whatever. Like, yeah, he's like, we're really good at night. Like, if only we could play our games at 6:20 p.m. every night or whatever. So no. And so the fact that they lost and got demolished in the second half to Texas A&M certainly did not help things at all. But now, moving beyond that, he's fired. I think that was not surprising. What is interesting, and there's two routes that we can go on this. One, we can talk about the ranking of the college jobs and now where they rank. But also the other tidbit that I find interesting, and maybe this just might be a comment here. I wonder if the fact that we now have three pretty prestigious jobs open right now in the form of LSU, most recently, Florida is also open. And of course, Penn State, we all know James Franklin having the largest buyout thus far this season, which is crazy that we have now two that are equitable. I wonder if we now find a chilling effect by Brian Kelly being fired of these lesser programs who are like, we're not going to get our first and we're not going to get our second best candidate. Do we just kind of like wait one more year to have the buyout be a little bit lower, maybe get at the top of the next coaching cycle? I wonder if we find that that it could be just something to where you see a bunch of programs that underperform relatively, that would be like, like a USC. I think that if there was a couple of strong contenders, I don't know that Riley would he would continue to go on. This might be something that Brian Kelly leaving his position, a very vaunted position at LSU. I wonder if that causes a stir and a hold on the rest of college sports firing.
And I think you have two more teams that might have openings before the year's over. I think Dabo Swinney is probably going to leave Clemson, and because they've been a disaster this year. They were number 2 in the country and they've got nothing. And I think, honestly, Deion's going to be done with Colorado this year. He's terrible.
Well,
it's time to move on from him.
Well, I think we can disagree on that, but I do think that he will potentially move on, mostly because of health, man. Like,
I think he has health issues, obviously.
It might be a both.
But I think they've realized with him that he's just not very good at managing games. And they're just a terrible program again. Yeah. So, but you're right. That's interesting to see what could happen. I like that he got fired that way.
Oh my God. Isn't it juicy? This guy, he just
juicy as your burgers.
Are they flame broiled? Those patties are big and juicy.
Flame broiled.
Yeah. No, he was so belligerent. He was such a booty hole that he could not keep it in. Wow. He just had to spew it everywhere.
You had to say that. Booty hole and keeping it in.
Absolutely.
That's not good.
Quick ranking though. What ranking do you have them? I have LSU as the clear top job of this cycle. And then next would be Penn State. I think that's a good recruiting base.
'cause
And
they're
then
losing a lot
Florida,
of
which is
people.
crazy that Florida's third.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Because Penn State's losing a lot of players this year, if I remember right.
I think so. But
So
they've got
they're-
a good recruiting base. Like
they do.
There's nowhere in Pennsylvania that other than that they're going to be losing their recruiting base to. It's just the fact that
I mean-
LSU whoopsie daisies into national championships.
For,
with the
for
talent
me,
they
if I
recruit.
wanted to live in one of those places, I'm probably going to go to Penn State before I go to LSU.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to live in where LSU is.
100%.
So, but yeah.
And one last little juicy nugget. Ralph, that LSU is going to be going over there and knocking on Nick Saban's door and saying, any interest?
He has no interest. He's done. He wants no part of the new layout. He doesn't like it.
Hey.
Yeah, he won't do it.
We know you regret. He's publicly stated his one coaching regret: leaving LSU without a champion.
He doesn't like the way the system works nowadays. He won't do it.
Hello, Nick Saban.
Sorry, King.
I'm just saying.
Let's go to the chat and text. We have a text from Blissful Hayes that says, I agree with the Phillies owner. He has every right to say what he did about Harper. Who cares about Harper's feelings? Play better. That's aggressive.
There's a difference between saying, like, if you're out to dinner and somebody asks you and just, whatever, you're between friends. I don't think that you're beholden to just lie to your face, to somebody like that publicly and starting a fire when I don't even think that anybody asked him like anything that was close. If I remember the comments correctly, it was just, hey, how's the season going? Bryce Harper sucked. Outrageous.
So Blissful Hayes, I think that's the point, right? It's not that he did it. He said it. It's what he did. He said it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
He can think that, but he didn't need to say it out loud. You even mentioned that before. I mean, that was just stupid. That's just like when Neil says things out loud. Sometimes you look at him and go, dude, shut up. It's the same kind of experience. So anyway, there's a reason he's in jail. Let's see here. So we've got a chat on Facebook from a Bitter Dolphin fan. There's been some serious scandals in Italian soccer with gambling where players were scared with death. Also, remember the Colombian player who was murdered after the World Cup when he made that huge mistake against the USA team. He was killed.
Yeah, I believe there was a 30 for 30, a great, honestly, one of the best ones, a great 30 for 30, an ESPN sports documentary on this. It was called The Two Escobars, I believe, if I'm missing.
Yeah, he was killed in his hometown, and it made the cartel made a huge bet on Colombia. I guess so they lost.
Yeah,
and let's remember, USA was not good in 1994.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, it's
right. I remember that.
Yeah.
So this happened in 1994.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like to think that betting is a bit safer now that it's all online and there's no bookies and sharks and all of these like old fashioned mafia things that used to go on. It's just like, hey, here's my Venmo account.
Those things are still there. Those things are real. People don't.
I don't know. I'm
believe it,
hoping
but-
online is taking over.
Yeah, if you look at the basketball thing just went down. I mean, the mob was involved in part of that. They're very prevalent. They're just not as out in the open about it anymore.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
That hurt a portion of Ralph's business when that story came out.
How do you think I pay for these things? I mean, that's how it works.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, anything else you want to add on top of this hour before we go to our break? King?
Yes. I think I royally decree that it is fine for a break for me to break bread and make merry. Now come here and let's have a jubilee, my little cow.
I'm not on camera.
My little cow.
A little veal.
On that note, let's go ahead and take a top of the hour break. When we come back, it's going to be all about NFL. Because you know us. We love the NFL. It's the Weekend Warriors right here on Weekend Warrior Network.
Arizona's solar scene is crowded, and real transparency can be hard to find. That's why we created the Harmon Solar Podcast, an honest, no-pressure guide to going solar in our state. Each episode, we break down the stuff that actually matters. No hype, no jargon, just clear info so you can make confident decisions on your solar journey. Our goal is simple: educate and empower. Solar isn't right for every home or business, but everyone should take a look. Follow the Harmon Solar Podcast on your favorite app. Just search Harmon Solar Podcast. Local, honest, solar done right. Incentives and savings vary by utility, rate plan, usage, and equipment. Not tax or legal advice. See details in the show notes.
After you cook, are you staring at a pan full of grease? Pan dust turns messy grease into dry, scoopable crumbs in seconds. Sprinkle, stir, let it set, wipe it out, done. Fewer towels, cleaner counters, and yes, happy drains. Want to see it work? Open YouTube and search Pan Dust Absorbs Grease, or go straight to our channel at Pan Dust Absorbs Grease. Watch a quick demo, hit subscribe, and share it with your bacon-obsessed friends. It works on cast iron, non-stick, baking sheets, even grill pans. It's plant-based, no harsh smell, and cleanup is weirdly satisfying. Make cleanup the easiest part of cooking. Pan dust absorbs grease.
Game day, date night, or a midweek bite, make the Spot Neighborhood Grill your go-to. Sizzling burgers, crispy wings, street-style tacos, fresh salads, and shareables that disappear fast. Add an ice-cold draft or a classic cocktail, and you've got your new neighborhood favorite. Wall-to-wall TVs so you won't miss a play, a patio made for Arizona evenings, and that friendly local vibe you love. Find us at 2 Valley locations, Scottsdale at 18,251 North Pima Road, and Glendale on 5350 West Bell Road. Dine in, grab takeout, or order ahead. Find us at thespotgrill.com for the menu, hours, directions, and daily specials. Again, that's thespotgrill.com. The Spot Neighborhood Grill. Great food, great people.
Turn your backyard into the best seat in the house with Curbalite, the app-controlled landscape curb that wraps your trees in color. Pick any hue, run preset scenes, even schedule your lights right from your phone. And on party night, make the lights dance to the music. Choose the traditional round tree ring or the contemporary square. Both install in minutes and link together for bigger, brighter displays. Connect up to 12 sets to frame your whole space. Built for real weather, Curbalite is tested in extreme heat and cold, so your glow goes year-round. Level up your nights, game day, holidays, or just because. Get Curbalite now at Curbalite.com. That's Curbalite.com.
You're listening to the Weekend Warrior Show. It's time for hour number 2.
It's the Weekend Warriors. Warriors coming to play.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, everybody. It is 11 a.m. on this wonderful, beautiful Saturday morning. I'm Ralph Romano, alongside changing characters. Okay, so kind of looks like Kurt Cobain to me. I'm not really sure who this is now. Who are you now?
I'm Tyler Glasnow in the 7th.
Tyler Glasnow in the 7th. Wow. That's Philip Hammerine. And then we've got Sports Girly Dairy Girl.
Sports Dairy, yeah.
Sports Dairy is our special guest. And this is the Weekend Warriors. Hey, don't forget, be part of this show. Join us on the text line has started to work again. You can try that. It's 844-668-8462. But better than that, and I really kind of push you this way.
Yeah.
Get on the chats. Get on Facebook. Get on YouTube. Get on X, and we'll actually post your chat up on live on screen.
Put your whole government name out there.
Right. We'll put your government name out there like we're going to do right here. We've got a Facebook tag. This is my brother, Dominic Romano, right? This is his name is Tesla Travelers. He has a channel on YouTube. Oh. Where is the Dodgers offense? Well, it's in Toronto. I'm not really sure what you're getting at. Yes, I am. I get it. They've not been around most of the year, to be honest with you.
Well, it's been a defense. Yeah.
You know what's unique about them is that they actually play a strikingly similar game to Toronto, and that they are swinging for the fences. Like they have almost refused to play small ball, whether it be in the postseason, whether it be the entire season in general. And that's part of the reason why when you look at their entire lineup, you say that there's not really a weak link, except for now, whenever the long ball is not being launched, whenever it's not, I don't know if it's just a lack of experience recently because they've been coached differently or what have you, but it doesn't seem like they've at all been able to just do the small stuff to where there's like, oh, there's a sack fly, or or like go get a man on base and bunt or something. Like there just hasn't been a lot of small tiny maneuvers to generate offense to just get people on base and go through outside of you just see Tyler Glasnow.
I can't deal with that look at you have right now, but that's fine.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I just threw out a perfect gem in the first hour of the show, and I just got to ice my shoulder. That's fine.
So what are the differences between regular, non-fat, and low fat? I'm just curious, Sports Dairy.
Skim.
How much fat is in them?
Is that how it does? Did you know the process? Have you ever watched it?
No.
Or I figured as a dairy cow, you would know these things.
I
assume... What if all the fat is concentrated near the bottom?
All right. We might see violence on stream.
We're going to see something.
All right. It's that time again, right? It's that time.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the games of last week.
The NFL games of last week. I guess you can't start this segment without talking about Cam Scatterboo.
Yeah. You know what? That's fair.
Right? That was just did you guys actually see the video?
You know what's
Yes.
It was
You know how to
horrible.
scare a Giants fan this Halloween? Scatterboo. No, that was awful. That video
Wow.
was so bad.
It was
I
awful.
just saw it and I'm like, he dislocated everything and he broke everything. Like
Yeah,
so bad.
So she's we're watching.
Although I won
this-
my fantasy league because of it. So
Yikes. So we're watching the game live, and she takes genuinely a moment. Like this isn't shape, but she's looking down on her phone for like a bet, and I'm like, oh, that looks awful. She's like, what? So I pull it up, and on the socials, as these things tend to do, because they're saying, oh,
Right.
we're not replaying this.
It was all over.
And upon the moment of seeing it, Sports Girly was aghast and horrified. She's like, "Oh my god! That is awful. That is like that could be like season ending." I'm like, "Yeah, it probably is. It might even go into next season." Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, that
I
could
agree.
possibly be career ending. Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's
possible.
let's kind of pause there. But yeah, no, that was grisly. That was gruesome. And honestly, I think it speaks volumes to the style that he played and the player that
Yeah.
he was.
Mhm.
That you got Philly fans to stand up and cheer.
Yeah.
Like
I
not
was
much
shocked.
respect.
yeah,
I was
not even
shocked.
in the normal way that you would think like they cheered. They were like honoring him. Big Dom himself
Yeah.
over there came by and dropped off a bunch of subs and cookies and
respect,
things. Yeah,
man.
much respect. Cam Scatterboo, you have to give it up. Like that guy is just incredibly enticing as a player, both as an entertainment product, as a leader,
Yeah.
as just a pure, in the sense, warrior. Completely. I mean, it seemed that he fought for every yard and for everything given that was granted to him, and not just the Giants organization, but in football in general.
Jackson Dart was visibly shaken.
Oh my!
Yeah.
He turned
You
around.
can
He was
see it, right? I mean,
yeah. And nothing is shaking that guy. Like you can see him get a sack and he just pulls back and then just flashes the necklace and goes on. That he was legitimately horrified. And
much respect to Cam Scatterboo and quick recovery. I heard he was around the facility 2 days later on his little go-kart thing, just running around yelling and stuff. I mean, the guy just doesn't change.
I feel like he's that toddler that like hurt himself and like he doesn't care. He's just gonna
Right.
keep going up and running. It's like no, you have to recover. But I hate that it was just inevitable based on how he plays because
Yeah.
he plays so good. And
Yep.
it's not like
Well-
an I told you so moment. It's just heartbreaking.
It is.
maybe not that specifically, because sometimes like that was just a twist. You know, like I would have expected like a shoulder sprain or something.
Something was gonna happen.
Certainly, yeah. To the earlier point that you had, the guy tried to get back up. Like
Yeah.
he's there like getting like
His foot's facing the other way.
I
He's trying to
love
get back
rookies.
up.
I love rookies and their rookie moments. It's so good.
I mean, how do I get back into this game? Like,
Yeah,
my
no.
God, like what? Yes, all thoughts and prayers to Cam Scatterboo and his ankle.
And the other big thing before you get into the other stuff is
No,
that
I
you
wanted
know-
to stay on this game. Yeah,
Oh, you want to stay on this one?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Sports Girly, have you heard me that loud and contentious for a game?
So normally when I'm watching a game with Philip, he's very just like analytical and just like reserved about it. And I can tell like the gears in his head are moving and he's kind of watching it. This Eagles game, I have never seen him so heated. He's yelling at the TV screen, like all the toxic masculinity stuff of like yelling at the screen, yelling at the refs. Like he was so heated in the moment. And he really had so many good points about how the refs and the officials are with the Eagles. It was a different side of Phil.
Really?
Yes,
See that
really.
look? You see that look?
So the tush push.
The tush push.
Oh,
Every
we're gonna
time
go
the
there.
tush was pushed.
Let me get this straight. We can't get it right before the ball snap because we're having offsides.
Right.
And now we're going to during the play. They're just gifted just progressive progress. And when it's a clear fumble of the ball, they say that it was a whistle was blown dead. There was no freaking whistle. We all heard it. We all went to the
You
replay.
hate this play.
He
so,
does.
So it's
He does.
it's a version of Calvin ball where heads I win, tails you lose. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, no matter what they do, we're just gonna gift them. Like, that is not an equitable football play. Where so first of all, they get a free launching pad. We have guys over here in order to properly defend against it. They're having to lay down on the football field in order to possibly get an advantage to disincentivize them jumping off sides early. And then the time that he actually has a fumbling problem where the defense actually has a play and they start running away with it, that to me was the turn of the game. That alone. And I know that we can't usually go, especially early in the game. They had a lot of opportunities. I get it. And even after that, it was Cam Scatterbo. I mean, I hate to do the what ifs of what would have happened, but I certainly think that the turn of events would have he would not have been in that specific position, Cam Scatterbo, and maybe we just punt the ball down the line. Regardless, to not be able to officiate that play properly, I can now say with even more conviction, with all the conviction in my voice, it is an ugly play. It is unofficiable, if that unofficiatable, whatever it can be, and now we're just gifting them. You don't like giving things out to people for free here, Ralph. They're gifting out yards every single time that they go out there. They're just saying, "Oh, you know what? Just give them the first down. Just give it to them because like no matter they fumbled, just let him keep the ball. You know, like it doesn't even matter. Like trust me. Yeah, we blew it dead way back when. First down.
Ralph, are you anti tush push?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't have. I mean, it's not the greatest play in the world, but
it's legal.
It's legal, so stop it.
It's such an ugly rugby play that has no place.
It is a rugby play, but I mean, it's legal
for now.
Until they ban it, I mean, it's legal. So I don't have the passion that you have about it.
Oh my! It is so just
Seattle
aberration.
Yeah, they do it well too. I mean, so
look, for me, it's unentertaining. It is almost a given, and they're cheating. Like I can't even get over this. They are jumping off sides, and in order to combat it, Ralph, they're having to have people literally lay on the floor. Like I can't get over that.
Yeah,
like
funny.
that is like when
I like that play.
Yeah,
I want to be that player.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you just
lay right there.
You just get to be a lineman and just pose for Vogue on there.
I would do it if Derrick Henry was running back.
Oh, Tyler Glass.
We'll talk about
now.
Jesus, yeah.
We'll talk about my running backs though.
Just fell out.
I guess I got to go back. To King Henry. Yeah.
Blissful Hayes is on the text line. Let's see what he says. I'm amazed how fast Phil can shave his beard. I mean, it was impressive. You should have watched it. They also said, I hope Scatterbo's surgeon inserted a bionic ankle. Think of how badass he'd be upon that return.
Oh, wow.
I think his ankle was already bionic. It just kind of blew.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I hesitate to say. Like, I wonder if how impactful that is to him as a player. Like, it's not like he was the most like he's not like a Darren Sproles. He's not like a Deshaun Jackson where he's beating people with his speed and agility.
It's brute strength.
It's brute strength. So I think that this will be just a speed bump, a major speed bump, but a speed bump in his career. I don't know that for sure.
This was the fear we had with him.
Oh, yeah.
And this is not the last injury. Yes. And he won't last more than 5 years because of his playing style. He's just, this is what it is. That's why he got drafted so late. Yeah. Everybody knew this was kind of thing was going to happen. Yeah. Which sucks because he's such a great kid, great personality, hard leader, hard worker. You love that. You can't not love the guy.
Oh, 100%.
If you don't love the guy, you got problems.
Where did you want to go, Ralph?
A couple other things. So, but the one good thing about last week for Arizona fans is the Cardinals didn't lose. So that's good. I guess a bye week can do that for you.
It's a non-Kyler Murray will do that for you.
I guess you wanted to touch on the Colts and the Titans. I want to hear this.
I do. Yeah. Really curious. I mean, the Colts, so they've just been on fire this season. Like they've just been so good, and it just kind of like came up out of nowhere. Daniel Jones, he's really good, but where you can see, I wouldn't classify him as a stud, but the fact that he has the least amount of sacks for this season in the league shows how good his offensive line is. He has insane coverage, and the defense also, like every single time the Titans were up for a play, the defense was just all over their offensive line. Like they are good offense and defense and everything. And my new running back crush, sorry, Derrick Henry, is this year, Jonathan Taylor. The way he plays, I said this last time I was here, it just reminds me of Derrick Henry, the way he can just fight through all of the attackers on top of him, and he just, you know, kind of carry them with him also. He leads the league in running back touchdowns for the season. He's just absolutely incredible. And I think they've put together a really, really good team. But also as a side note, I was like, well, did they just have a really good schedule this year? Because they played the Dolphins, they played the Titans twice, they played the Raiders, and they played the Cardinals. So I'm kind of just like
they weren't very good last year. So they have the I think they have the 3rd or 4th place schedule.
yeah. So they
third, because Titans got the number 1 overall pick.
Right,
Third.
and then their division's really down this year too, which makes it even better.
Yeah. So I'm just like, well, I don't know. You're playing the Titans twice, so maybe you are going to end up being 7-1. But I mean, it would be remiss to talk about the Colts without talking about the ultimate sports girly in sports, and I'm of course talking about Carly Ursay-Gordon on the sidelines.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Absolutely incredible leader. I mean, I just love to see it. I mean, I don't think she's a pioneer in the sense of being a non-ceremonial owner where she's actually on the sidelines with the headset, with the play sheet and everything, calling the plays and everything like that. But I just think it's incredible that it's a woman doing that. Yeah. And of course, it holds all of the coaches and managing staff responsible because she's analyzing it. She's not hands-off. She's very hands-on. She's there on the field. And it's just so heartwarming to see the players love her. She's dapping up with the players. There's so much respect there. And it's a win. It's a win for sports girlies everywhere. You go, Carly.
And you know what it's about? It's not about the fact that she's a woman. It's about the fact that she knows her stuff.
Because she's
whether
a woman.
she's a woman, whether she's a man, whether she's a cow, whatever she is, she's out there and she's been in this for years, right?
Yeah.
She knows her stuff, and that's why she gets respect.
Mm-hmm.
If it'd be somebody else that was just in there because they were the owner and didn't know what they were talking about, people would be ignoring her.
Yeah.
But she gets the respect, and I give her the respect. She knows her stuff. And
you give her respect?
Absolutely.
She's a woman.
I don't...
This is breaking news. Do we have a breaking news button?
No. We do, but I'm not
I know we do.
No, but I do. I give her a lot of respect. I love to see how involved as an owner she is. And that's what
she's on the headset.
I love owners that are involved to a point.
Yes.
I don't want Jerry Jones who ruins things because he's involved.
Right.
Or the guy that owns the Suns who ruins things because he's involved. But I like how she's letting them know I'm watching, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it holds them to a higher standards.
Yeah. Holding them accountable.
And Jonathan Taylor's you haven't seen him before because he used to be like this. And then he went down a little bit because of injuries and stuff. And now he's back to playing how he was.
Yeah, it's taken about
so
2 seasons. 2 seasons ago. Yeah. He was like this.
Yeah, the Colts look great right now. I mean, we'll see as the season goes. We have to have that good second half, and we'll see. I mean, they got to play Seattle at some point this year.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about games of last week, I think the only other 2 games that are really of note. I mean, we had a limited schedule as it was.
Yeah.
The only close game that was by the final thing was the Jets Bengals. I mean, nobody watched it, so I mean that's crazy.
I titled that game "How to Not Do Defense." The Jets Bengals game, so bad.
The one thing that I titled it that I found to be interesting was it is the way of the future. And only in one avenue. The Jets showcased, and get ready for it, guys, when and how to go for 2 points. So first of all, in order to get back into the game, and I was showing this to Sports Girly while we were watching it together, is that one, you had to, so they were down, what were they down? They were down 16-31. And so you're down 15 points, eventually you have to go for 2 points. Some coaches, some more conservative coaches would wait until the final possession that they need to. No, you go for the 8 point immediately. They get it, and now you know that you only need a touchdown. Where they shined was after they got another stop and they were heading, and the Bengals scored again. So now it's 38-24. They go for the 8-point conversion again, or the 2-point conversion again when they score again. And that's something that we're going to be seeing with more regularity in sports, because if let's just even take it as much of a math equation. And this is kind of the same thing that we're seeing in the NBA, why there are so many threes is simply because when you boil it down to a math equation, it makes sense. Same with like baseball, with Moneyball and all this stuff on when it's like both just the numbers. When you look at it, if you assume that you're on a 2-point conversion, you're a 50-50 shot to do it. Why not give yourself the opportunity to possibly do just what they did and win by 1 whenever you get to that last touchdown? And then, so what? If you miss the first one, then you're still back at that 50-50 8-point conversion or 8-point score at the end of the game just to tie it to go to overtime. But now you're giving yourself that opportunity, that chance that when you need to get the touchdown that you ultimately need to get anyways, now you have a chance to win the game outright and not even go to overtime. It is next level gamesmanship. It is the next level strategy. So for all of you watching, and so that way you don't have to watch this game, that is something that is on the horizon. That
we're seeing it more and more.
Oh yeah. If a team is down 2 touchdown scores, 14 points, get ready for them to go for 2 more often than not in that specific scenario.
It's like a memo went out because all of a sudden you're seeing it all over the NFL.
Absolutely. And especially if you're really good in short yardage situations and you have a mobile quarterback such as Justin Fields, where he himself is an option in those short, small spaces where he's hard to defend and he can just squirt out for a score himself. Of course. No. Well, yeah. I mean,
very insightful for a man in a wig.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
This is all natural.
Blissful Hayes says, I say just get rid of all kickers and punters. Make both teams go for it every 4th down. It'll make the game more exciting.
I love that.
I do kind of like it too.
I kind of love that.
I think the XFL did something similar, and that was, again, one of the innovations that the NFL did not implement, but certainly a lot of people loved.
Because, one thing that pisses me off about football games is when the game comes down to a field goal, and I'm just like, well, the whole game just came down to a field goal. Couldn't we have just done a field goal and called it the game? So I don't know. I kind of like it. It's a touchdown or nothing. I like that. I like that. That was Blissful Hayes?
Yeah, it's Blissful Hayes. And then we have Bitter Dolphin fan on Facebook chat. We'll put that up, and it says Phil is 100% right. Never say that, Bitter Dolphin fan.
Bless you, sir.
We love you, Bitter Dolphin fan.
He's talking about the tush push. It's also a boring play.
Hey, you got Jalen Hurts over there just being like, "Oh, come on, Saquon Barkley, let's get that first yard down." Oh, hello. Just ready for that little push. All right. Last one. Sunday Night Football. Before we move along to this current weekend in what's happened. Aaron Rodgers' night gets spoiled. I mean, the first half going into halftime, you thought maybe, but I find 2 very important things interesting. First of all, and one that we can expound on, is that the Steelers' defense is not good, and second of all, the Steelers' offense is not operating under that assumption. like they are very much playing as like, okay, we need to play every game like the Chiefs last year, where it's going to be tight games. You get every single point that you can, no matter what. I'm sorry, but your defense is worse than you think. That defense, that steel curtain, quote unquote, is working strictly on reputation right now. And so you going and taking advantage of a Chris Boswell that you have as a good kicker, granted, I understand that. You need to be going for those 4th and 2s and in, because otherwise you need to be scoring touchdowns in order to keep up with what your defense is certainly allowing. The fact that Mike Tomlin in that 4 seasons in a row highest paid defense that is the Pittsburgh Steelers defense as an accumulative
talent
and group, you're not getting proper return on that investment.
No.
You're not seeing any real splash plays outside of now that those defenders are as a whole getting hurt more and more. And this is their second 30-point game allowed. The Packers, it's a little more forgivable. The first one, lest we forget, was to those very same Jets that we just talked about that are awful. And was the only thing that was saving Justin Fields from not getting benched earlier from where he was. So this Steelers defense is living on reputation. It certainly was the best effect and gave life to the Baltimore Ravens, who's the next game that we can talk about after this. But Pittsburgh Steelers are moribund and confusing as far as like just a completely misidentified unit, where you usually say that defense is elite. It's not producing as such.
They've only given up 175 points.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's not horrible when you look at the rest of the league.
It's horrible if they're the highest paid. It's horrible if they have a reputation of being the greatest defense. I mean, like I went in watching the game for the Steelers defense, and I was very disappointed, especially because I bet the under, and it was not under anything.
Well, that's why you're disappointed. Yeah.
It's irrelevant.
Okay. I mean, they are in first place, but they're in a bad division right now, right?
Yeah, they are in first place. I mean, outside of the Seahawks too, I'm looking at their schedule. They have not. I mean, their good win, their really solid good win, was against the Patriots at the Patriots, and that was with them forcing 5 takeaways from Drake May, which feels like an aberration. The Steelers probably own the league in aberration games, where it's just like to begin the year they had a 34-32 win at the Jets. Weird. The Patriots 5 turnover game from Drake May, which does not feel like the Drake May that we're currently seeing as an MVP outsider favorite. And then they just absolutely destroyed the Browns, and who have a tremendous defense, and they lost against the Bengals in a shootout. It's just, they're so odd. They are such an odd team.
Well, and they're that typical mediocre, right? 175 points for, 175 points against, right? They're that 500 team, but yet in the division they're in, it makes them first place. So
absolutely.
I think I'm not going to sit here and say Tomlin's job's in jeopardy. I don't think it is, but I think it's time maybe to think about where you go from here, because how much longer are you going to ride that Tomlin train? I don't know.
Tomlin is underperforming as a coach.
I think he is. I think he is too. But I also think maybe defensively they have the pieces, but offensively they're not really that stacked. I don't think. You have an old Aaron Rodgers you're getting what you can get out of him. You have one good receiver in DK Metcalf. I'm not sure what else you have outside of that. The running game is not that great. That's a tough gig.
Yeah, again, like I said, they're performing like a team that has a much better defense than they have. It's odd.
So what do you got about the Ravens?
They're back. Like it's odd because Vegas, even before the game, had them favored to win their division, which is insane to think about of a 2-5 team heading into that Thursday night game.
Right.
Coming out of it, I mean, you saw the first head roll. Chris Greer out as general manager for the Dolphins. I think appropriately so. That team was weirdly constructed. You even look at the Dolphins, and I don't think the drafting of Tua Tagovailoa was bad. I think the extension was abysmal. Was such a bad decision. When you draft Tua and you saw that he's coming out like a Drew Brees, okay, that's fine. But when he was extended, lest we forget, this was post a couple of the CT. Like I think that was the second concussion by the time that he signed it. First of all, second of all, he was already starting to downplay, and third of all, I don't think that there was another team that really would have signed him to the same money that you signed him. I think that you were giving him a bonus for being a good soldier and going out there and also a feel-good story. Okay, but I'm sorry, in this particular business, especially when you're talking about the single highest paid player on the team, who now that team is stuck with for at least one more year. Again, I'm talking from I'm talking from the position of as a Denver Bronco fan who is still paying dead money to salary cap to Russell Wilson. Trust me when I say you still have one more year. Like you can manage around it, but not to a certain extent.
This felt very Kyler Murray-ish, this extension. It kind of it strapped them just like the Arizona Cardinals got strapped. Yeah.
Too soon. Well, Kyler Murray, it was a little bit better. Just in like, I do think he's a tradable asset. Tua.
No, he's not tradable.
For Tua?
No one.
Nobody. I mean, yeah.
So my question, I know you're talking on the Dolphins a little bit. You get rid of Greer, right? As your GM after 10 years of not winning a playoff game. I get that. Bad construction of a roster. That roster is terrible in my opinion.
Not winning a playoff game, Ralph. I think they're 23 seasons of not having won a playoff.
Yeah. They want to go there.
No. I mean, yeah.
But I mean, you look at what they've done there as far as constructing that roster, and then you look at Mike McDaniel. Do you blame him at all, or is that why they haven't fired him yet? Because they're saying, you know what, we haven't given him the right roster to be successful, so we can't really pin it on him, and we're going to stay with him going forward. Or do you get rid of him at the end of the year?
Well, okay, yes, they came out with assurances saying that unless something catastrophic happens, right, he loses the locker room.
He won't lose his job during the year.
Yeah, that unless something like that happens, he's not going to lose his locker room.
Does he survive?
I think the point you first made here, and follow me, what is the best way, Sports Girly, to assure that you create a less physical team? You get an offensive head coach, check. You get a small quarterback who's smaller than half than the offensive line, to where he's openly admitting that he can't see over the offensive line. Check. You get not one, but two speedy wide receivers. Check. And even the running back that you have, who's somehow held up, great talent, is a bit undersized and known for his speed. Check. So I would say that the responsibility and the head that rolled was the appropriate one. I wonder, Mike McDaniel's errant step in this whole equation would be probably what he had to do, which was vouch for Tua and get that contract situation and an extension, because that simple thing is what's going to cost everybody their job. And unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles. If you are Kyle Shanahan and you're able to get a bunch of production out of a Mac Jones, and just as much as you are to get out of Sam Darnold, just as much as you are Brock Purdy, just as much as you are Jimmy Garoppolo, then it is on you when you pay a Brock Purdy and your team dips in quality overall and is unable to overcome the hurdles that come with a lack of depth that you otherwise would have if you had a lesser quarterback that wasn't taking up nearly as much as the cap, a la Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the cap that they're able to afford because he took a discount. Then, if you're in the case of the Miami Dolphins, then I'm sorry, Mike McDaniels, you're out because you vouched for Tua. Like you that was your mistake. I'm sorry. You'll get another. He has himself another offensive coordinator job locked and loaded. He's going to be the best offensive coordinator hire of this offseason, just as how Cliff Kingsbury was the best offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders hire last season, just as how Robert Saleh was the best defensive coordinator hire for the San Francisco 49ers this year. Mike McDaniels undoubtedly will be the best offensive coordinator hire for next season. That being said, I'm sorry, you have to pay the price.
Well, Philip, you're right. I think they have all the ingredients for a good team that you listed off and everything, but they're not performing. It's not happening. They have the ingredients, but the soup is not coming together. So something is off there with the players, and of course, Mike McDaniels, he's not performing either. It's both of them with the Dolphins. I think it's just a double-sided, cluster F going on. It's both of them.
Bitter Dolphin fan is on the text line.
You think?
It's very obvious that Miami has no direction from its leaders and coaching staff. The lack of preparation for this team is inexcusable. What they need is preparation H, because the coaching and players look and feel like they have.
They are looking a bit stiff on the play out there.
No, he's right. It's both of them. It's the coaching staff and it's the players. Like they're not performing well. He's not completing passes. He's not completing throws. They're getting tackled. They're getting sacks. It's not happening. And Mike McDaniels, of course, is not doing any better. It's both of them. It's a mismatch. This is not a match. This is not a match made in heaven. They got to break up.
And to go to the point, even to
agreed.
I think it's Tua is certainly doing himself a disservice on the field when he's not preparing. He's not even half really of the level he was when that one season where they scored 70 points on my Broncos. May I never forget, I'm sure. But it's another thing when he has just been the absolute lackluster leader and just coming out and being brutally honest for no reason on a press conference, just saying, yeah, I'm too short. You know what? Like I'm not nearly as talented as Josh Allen. He's probably better at me than everything, but I'm making more than him, but that's all right. That's all right. We're this team. And then also not being able to lead. It is frustrating on so many levels that you paid Tua that I'm sorry, Mike McDaniels, even if you were prepared, like some things you can't overcome.
Did you look at the screen?
I love it.
Again, Phil is right about the Dolphins and me. No, I'm not drunk. We get it, bitter Dolphin fan.
Yeah. You started all this out by the Ravens. I think we should dutifully talk about them just for a moment. They're back. Does anybody here want to say that they aren't going to win the division? Like I want to say it. The rest of their schedule, their schedule was certainly front loaded with you look at the opponents that they lost to begin the year. Now with Lamar Jackson back, them demolishing and bulldozing another team.
It's one game.
It is one game. I 100% agree with you. Their defense.
And it's one game against the Dolphins. Yeah. I don't know about winning the division.
Because that feels like the only way that any team from the AFC North is making the playoffs. I want to be clear about that.
I feel like they only did that well on Thursday because they were playing against the Dolphins. I don't feel like Lamar Jackson is fully back yet.
So then go out on a limb. Who are you calling to win the AFC North? You want the Bengals? You want the Browns?
Joe will be back eventually.
Yeah. You want the Steelers?
I think the Steelers. I'm not putting money on it. I'm just saying it on a podcast. But I think the Steelers. I don't know. The Ravens are just not feeling
Lamar
the same
Jackson,
that they were.
He didn't look good before he got hurt.
This season, yeah, that's true.
He didn't. He wasn't looking good.
Yeah.
He looked like something
the Ravens
else.
are on the decline. They peaked last year.
Their defense doesn't look good.
Their defense does not look good.
216 points they've given up. Since when?
But I mean,
we're beating up the Steelers defense. Look at the Ravens.
They were beaten to start up the year. Lamar Jackson has missed 2 games of the year, and he already has more touchdowns. He still has more touchdowns than Josh Allen. Now, granted, he has a Thursday game ahead of him, but I'm pretty sure that stat was even apparent before the Thursday night game. He hasn't been that bad, guys.
He hasn't been that good either. I don't know if he's division winning.
Well, we'll see.
I'd say, first of all, whoever comes out of this division will be a bad team.
Yes.
And if Burrow comes back,
heaven forbid.
Watch out for the Bengals.
Oh my God! What
Burrow
an ugly
comes back,
divisional winner that would be. The Bengals do Oh my!
He's good enough to have the Bengals win this division.
The Ravens' defense was injured. What is the Bengals' defensive?
I get you, but Joe Burrow can outscore you.
And also,
if he stays
the
healthy.
Steelers at least are just underperforming. They at least have stars over there that can at times clamp.
I just don't. I'm gonna have faith in Aaron Rodgers. I just don't. I'm not hitching my wagon to that guy.
I think the Steelers can win the division in spite of Aaron Rodgers. I think, and I also think he's good enough. His passing, it's
he's
good
been
enough.
Efficient. He hasn't been the problem this year. Like,
yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm shocked that Aaron Rodgers, that we have not had a. He hasn't been going on the Pat McAfee show. We haven't had like
he's been quiet.
We haven't had a team thrown under the bus. Like the closest we came was like, well, I'd go to Ireland a little earlier. That's about it. That's the only thing I could think of. That he hasn't been like, I'm questioning Mike Tomlin's play call. No, he's been playing the part of a good soldier. Like credit to where it's due. Aaron Rodgers, not the problem.
Why don't we get into picks?
Yes.
I think we're running out. Man, this is actually going by fast.
Man, this show
it flies.
Starts out your weekend just with a little bit of gravitas.
Makes your hair grow.
Yeah. Certainly does. You don't want to know where that beard is right now.
I really don't want to know.
I really don't want to know either.
You're going to find out.
No.
Ralph.
All right, so let's get into our picks.
Let's.
So let me look at the last week and see where we're at. Let's see here. Last week.
For the 6-0 performance, by the way, I think that we should, since we have it while you're gathering the math here. So, given that we now have a crown, I humbly beseech thee of the Weekend Warriors that should anybody go 6-0, and we'll start after this because I didn't properly prepare you for this, Sports Girly.
Fine.
But 6-0, should one go 6-0 on their picks going forward? At the end of the show, they get 5 minutes to talk about whatever they want, whether that be
Taylor Swift.
Oh, no.
whether that be
Taylor Swift eras.
or whether that be
Taylor Swift in the crowd at a Chiefs game.
or the Minnesota Twins if you're Neil. Yeah, if you want, whatever you want to talk about for 5 minutes to end the show, you get to do it. So if you come up with something by the end of the show, you get to. But for now, you get to wear the crown.
I want to talk about Taylor Swift now.
Oh, there we go. All right. So 6-0, that's a new element we'll be introducing to the show. Ralph, take it away. What game are we picking?
All right, so last week, real quick, Neil went 2-4.
That's
And
That's
he's bringing up the rear, which sounds right.
That's Neil.
25-21 on the year. Phil went 3-3
that's about
last week, and he is at 28-18. And I went 4-2 to catch Phil, and we're both tied at 28-18.
That just feels wrong.
So we have a 2-game lead on Neil, who I feel will start falling out. Let's go. Let's see here. What games do we have? So let's start with the Broncos and the Texans. Sports Dairy.
So my pick for this game is the Broncos. They're able to change up their offensive line as needed, and they can run down the middle of the field. They can throw outside plays when they're in the red zone. They have this middle of the field red zone balance going on, and that's just something I've noticed about them, and it's really good. Like the fact that they're able to do both. I'm picking the Broncos, and I love you.
Am I going next?
Yeah, it's your team. Go for it.
Why not? What is the remedy for offensive woes, Ralph?
The remedy?
Yeah.
Defense.
No. The remedy is the Dallas defense. My God, did you see us?
Oh,
we couldn't stop scoring. They invented the mercy rule for us, so that way we could say tap out already. My goodness. My Broncos, here's the thing. This is certainly a strength-on-strength game. The only thing is that there's a pulse of life on offense for the Broncos. That Texans offensive woes, they tried. They tried their darndest to give Mac Jones and the corpse of the San Francisco 49ers offense last week to give them the win. They couldn't do it, but they came darn near close. Nico Collins, I think, is still questionable at entering this game. That Texans defense is certainly going to clamp down on Bo Nix in that offense. I do not think it will be high scoring. Of course, an over-under of 40.5. You hit the under. I think that it is going to be the Broncos in probably a 2-0 safety game. Regardless, it will be a Broncos victory for the ages. Go and steer the cattle into oblivion, Broncos.
This is going to be a strength versus strength game, right? The Texans defense, the Broncos offense. I'm sorry, I have to take the defense. That defense looks so good.
And the Broncos defense does look pretty good.
Not the Broncos defense. And I feel that Stroud maybe is starting to finally look a little better. I mean,
might want to get that feeling
bit,
checked
right?
out. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel this is a really low scoring game. Really low scoring. And I'm going to take a defense in a low scoring game. So I'm going to go Texans. All right. I'm going to buck the Bronco and say Texans. All right. Colts and Steelers. Phil?
Me? I said a bunch of stuff about the Steelers and how awful they are. So it would be crazy for me to pick them, and yet I am. Because here's the reason why. The Indianapolis Colts, yes, they're 6-1. Look at that schedule that they played. There's two things that stand out to me. One, bunch of candy canes over there. They're just licking their lips and just getting red all over their face. Well, guess what? You've gotten to the white bone of the candy cane, and it's sharp, and it's going to stab you in the face. Because every single game that they played has been inside. Outside of one game on the road at the Texans in the beginning of the year at a balmy 80 degrees. Yeah, get out of it. We're going to Pittsburgh, Steel City. Steelers have stayed at home. been embarrassed on a national stage. They've had a week of Tomlin just ripping them a new one and saying, "What is this? What you want to do?" Also, if you want to go on the Colts,
I'm taking
the Steelers. Yes, the Steelers are winning this game. It might be 22-20. It might be something crazy. The Colts secondary is rife to get gone, and Aaron Rodgers is savvy enough to get a few big-bodied tight end completions, whether it be Jonnu Smith or Pat Freiermuth in the middle of the field, right where the Colts are weakest. Give me the Steelers. Colts are not 6-1 good.
Let me go second, and I'm going to bring sanity back to the program.
Thank you.
You have to take the Colts in this game until somebody can do something against this team. With the way the offense is clicking, the way Jonathan Taylor's playing, Daniel Jones is playing, their defense as well. They're a complete team right now. That's something that the Steelers are not. I think this offense is going to go off on that steel curtain, or what's left of that curtain, and I think this is going to be an ugly game.
Used curtain.
Yeah, it's really used. I got the Colts all day long on this team. I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, it sounds like you're kind of hoping for an upset for the Colts, but no, this game is not going to be their upset. I mean, the Steelers are third worst defense in the division. The Colts have just been stellar, on fire, absolutely insane. Of course, it's the Colts.
Yeah.
This is not where it's going to be. Their upset is going to come in this season, but it's not going to be this game. It's going to be a lot more surprising and irritating if you're a Colts fan. Not this one.
All right. Let's move to Sunday night, where we got the Seahawks visiting the Washington Commanders. Sports Dairy, we'll start with you.
So Jaden Daniels, he is just not performing as I had hoped as a rookie. He just, last season, he kind of got there, and then this season, I don't know. And the Seahawks have really found their groove with Sam Darnold. I think the beginning of the season for them wasn't that great, but I'm looking at Sam Darnold now and how he works with his running back and all of the receivers, and it looks really good. JSN's route running is insane, which they can use to exploit the Commanders' defense, which is below average in passing defensive yards. Seattle's in better form also, and they've been doing good at away games.
Very strong on the road.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Phil?
Ralph, we already have 2 picks different, so one of us will probably be taking the lead here. It won't be 3 different because I am picking the Seahawks. There's no way. There's no way that Jaden Daniels. I'm still not entirely sure. Is it Marcus Mariota is playing, or is it Jaden Daniels?
They said Daniels will probably be back.
Will probably be back.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what they're saying.
So there we go. Regardless, first game back. Here's your reward. You get to go up against a ferocious defensive line in the form of the Seattle Seahawks, and a fantastic scheme that will allow the defensive line to get pressure on you. A less than minty mobile Jaden Daniels. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is going back into the Lions' den. Witherspoon will be back for this game as well, which is really good for Seattle. They've been without him. The way that defense is performing, they're very LOB-ish. This is going to be a heck of a defense as they continue to grow. They're bringing in young kids, and they're even playing great. Sam Darnold has been the surprise of the year for us Seahawks fans. I mean, the way him and JSN are playing together, it's fun to watch. It really is. I'd like to see the running game get going a little bit. I think if we can see Kenneth Walker maybe have some next explosive runs, have Charbonnet do some pounding, this could be really ugly. I think Seattle wins this game, and I think they win this game going away. So
I think that's completely inbounds. This is an elimination game, by the way, for the Commanders.
Yep.
They lose this game, they're pretty much done for the playoffs, honestly.
Yeah, they're not there this year. They're not.
All right, next game we've got is the Jags and the Raiders. Phil?
2 teams coming off of a bye, something of a irregularity. I'm going to go with the Jaguars here and feel pretty darn confident about it. You got a team that's near the top in takeaways, and you got Geno Smith on the other side. That's my formula for picking the Jaguars, to be quite honest with you. Go ahead, Sports Terry.
The most boring game this week, I'm picking the Jags, and I will not be watching this game.
Wow.
Well, I mean, the Vegas is coming back from a shutout, and they're just really bad, and the Jags are slightly less. I don't know. Neither of these teams get me excited.
I'm wondering, what did Pete Carroll do?
Chew
on the bye. I don't know. I really want to take the Raiders.
I know you do.
Because I feel like they've got to put up or shut up at this point. Something has to happen in this game, or I think you got to start looking at benching Geno. I don't know how you continue down the road with him. I mean, this is a big game for him. I just can't do it. They've been so bad. I got to see something. I got to take the Jags, and I'm not feeling great about it because I think you might see something from the Raiders, but I just can't. I'm taking the Jags. I'm with you guys.
I mean, for what it's worth, Geno Smith looks great on the bench. His best performances.
All right, let's do the local game. I'll start with this one. We have the Cardinals and the Cowboys. Who's going to play quarterback? Everyone is in the press is saying it's Kyler Murray, but the reps at practice say it's Brissett because he's the one getting all the first team reps. I don't see Kyler Murray. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping he gets traded before the end of this game to the Cowboys. Mid-game. I don't think Kyler plays, and I think that gives the Cardinals a real chance in this game. I think they're a better offense without Kyler Murray. I know McBride's probably loving the fact that Brissett's on the other side.
Because he actually throws him the ball?
Yeah, because he throws him the ball. The Dallas Cowboys have been very up and down, more down than up. They're very inconsistent in everything they've been doing. Prescott is Prescott. I mean, he'll get his points, but the Cardinals defense is actually not that bad. That's a pretty good defense. Oh. I think they can shut that offense down. If Brissett plays, I have to take the Cards. I think with Brissett, they can win this game. So I'm hinging it on that. I'm hinging it on if he plays. Now, if Kyler Murray plays, I want to change my pick, but I can't. It's too late for us.
Right.
But I'm going to go ahead and take the Cardinals, hoping that Brissett plays.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, undefeated in the state of Texas, both in high school, college, and even in his professional career.
Yep.
Gets his first loss this game. Look,
if he plays.
I'm the reverse of you. I think that it will be Kyler Murray, and I might want to change my pick if Jacoby Brissett plays. But
wow.
that being said, Cowboys got absolutely embarrassed. I think that they'll have their full attention. They have an extra day to get ready, so it kind of mitigates the bye week that Arizona Cardinals are coming off of as far as the advantage that they get. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here, thinking that they can figure out the defensive puzzle that is the Arizona Cardinals defense. And I don't trust the offense to keep up with the other side of George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb.
All right, fair.
Well, first off, this game has pretty big playoff implications for Dallas. If they lose this, it's going to be difficult for them to come back because they are next week. They have a bye, and then they face the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Lions, and that does not look good for them. So that kind of puts a lot of pressure on them. Yeah, that's a bad schedule.
Good forecast.
That's an 0-3.
So when I last looked up, I saw that Kyler Murray was going to be playing. But your information may be more recent than mine, which of course changes my pick. If Kyler Murray's playing, then absolutely the Cowboys are winning.
I think we should make a rule for this game.
Oh, as long as it's all agreed.
If we all agree on this rule for this game,
okay,
that we can change our pick based on who starts at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Cardinals if Brissett starts, and I want to say Dallas if Murray starts.
I say Cardinals if Brissett's. Yeah, I say. Yeah, I think we're all on the same boat.
We're all on the same page, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was literally what I said. I said I was going to pick the Cardinals because I love Brissett. I think he's doing incredible things with the Cardinals. And then when I checked Kyler Murray was going to play, I was like, oh no, that's not a win at all.
Which I think is completely fair to where, none of us would actually push the swipe to bet this game until Monday when we knew who was playing.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's fair.
So based on QB, we'll say if Brissett plays, we're all going Arizona.
Yes.
If Murray plays, we're all going Dallas.
Yes.
Fair. That makes sense. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I was a little stressed out.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right.
As we all were.
Probably the game of the week here.
He's in a safe space.
Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills.
Game of the week.
Game of the week.
So, shocking. Like that they did not. That I guess it's too early for flexing, but that
Yeah,
they
you can't do that yet.
weren't able to get Seahawks Commander.
So let's start with Sports Dairy.
So I don't like my pick, but I have my pick. So the Chiefs, they always come through with the big games, right? Like they lost to Jacksonville, which was a small game in a sense. But since they lost to Jacksonville, that's when they got their momentum back.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when their season started. And you're like, Chiefs are back, baby. James Cook versus an average defense is phenomenal. Versus a pretty good defense, he's kind of a hit and a miss. So kind of not sure about that. So for that reason, I'm picking the Chiefs. I don't love it.
Okay. Don't love it.
Don't love it.
Yeah, Chiefs win big games. This is week 7. This is not a big game, and the Buffalo Bills.
Well, big in the sense that they're playing the Bills like a good team.
No, I your point is valid. It's just more so like I don't think that the Chiefs have shown historically that they don't get up for this game. They don't get up for the regular season. The Bills are, I want to say, undefeated in the Josh Allen era in the regular season versus the Patrick Mahomes led teams. If not, they have one loss. It's certainly lopsided in that department to Josh Allen. I don't know how. It feels like Josh Allen is destined to get a rushing touchdown here because he usually does against the Chiefs. He rushes in and his rushing averages go up when facing the Chiefs because he has to be Superman in order to beat the Chiefs. And I think that we are early enough to where the inclement weather, while I don't think it would be an equal hindrance for both. We're not talking Jared Goff where taking him outside is like an automatic just kill switch.
Right.
I do think that both of these offenses are going to operate at optimal velocity. And so with that being said, I think that the Bills certainly had an easier opponent to get ready for the Chiefs than the Chiefs did with a late Monday night game against the Commanders, where that took till halftime to get gone. I'm going to pick the Bills.
You were Chiefs? So I'm the deciding factor. Well, I look at it this way. When these two teams play in the regular season, the Bills have won the last 4 in a row. When they play in the playoffs, that's when the Chiefs win. I mean, that's been the pattern over the last few years. And I don't think it changes this week either. I think you have to take the Bills in the regular season game. Yes, Kansas City is back. I believe that. I think he's finally got his receivers back. I think they're playing better ball. But I think Josh Allen, who I think went through a little bit of a slump there for a couple weeks, found himself last week against the Panthers, a good Panthers team, and they blew them out. And at home on a cold November night, I'm going to be all over Buffalo. So I got to take the Bills too. I don't see a way around it. If this was a playoff game, I'd probably rethink it. But I think they make it 5 in a row. All right, that is our picks. So Neil, you'll get whatever loss happens. you get to match whoever has the worst record. If you don't miss and you don't give your picks, you get that record. So that's the rule.
Oh, wow. Okay. Actually, I didn't even know that rule.
Yeah,
so there we go.
That's our rule.
All right.
So there's our picks. No, we've got a few minutes left. I know we've got some sports girly topics, but is there anything we want to talk about? The trade deadline is Tuesday. I mean,
it always seems to creep up on you.
It creeped up pretty hard this year.
So as far as quarterbacks, I don't think really any are moving. The only one that I can kind of see would be a fan favorite, Jameis Winston. I think that he might be the lone one.
Where does he play now?
He plays in New York Giants.
Is he at the Giants?
Yeah, he was a part of the carousel over there.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know that Sports Girlie was even asking me, like, why would the Minnesota Vikings not trade for a quarterback?
Kirk Cousins. Makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Sure it does.
Did you not watch last week's game?
So Ralph, you think it's plausible that the Vikings would trade for a quarterback?
I think they have to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, no. Hold on.
You can fight him out on this, Phil.
No. Hold on that.
Okay.
You think that they should?
I think they have to.
As in that they will?
Yes.
Oh, no.
They have an unproven kid at quarterback who has an injury, coming off an injury, who is going to get thrown into it this week, right? Because I don't think they have a choice at this point. Who I am not convinced is any good. No one
agreed.
is.
100% agreed.
But they also don't have a choice but to keep him and start him.
At this point, you have to, right? You've banked on this guy.
Yeah.
No pun intended. They're throwing him into the lion's den this week.
They are. They're probably going to get destroyed this week.
100%.
And I think he's going to have a terrible game coming back against this defense. I don't think he's that good. I think they need a veteran with experience to come in and kind of ride that rest of the ship for the rest of the year. He's not ready. Captain Handoff is not ready.
But you're coming at this from the perspective that I share, that you would not have even drafted him. Come from the perspective of a team and an organization that has put a lot of stock in him, has had a whole year of rebuilding, getting around him and leadership. Agreed, but they need to see it. You need more than 7 bad quarters of football play. Even Jamarcus Russell got 3 seasons. You know,
I understand that, but who's this kid's injury prone? We know that. We've seen it. So who's to say he's not going to get hurt again? And when he gets hurt again, who's your backup?
I think his name's
exactly.
That sounds like a trivia question because I'm like scratching my head. Who is the backup for JJ McCarthy?
His backup is like McCabe or something.
It's somebody that we don't even know. Right?
Yes.
Why not go after Kirk Cousins, who's sitting there in Atlanta, who wants out? It's not opportunity. His opportunity's gone there. Why not bring someone like that back in?
They lost to those Dolphins we just talked about 10-0, completely deserving that score.
Okay.
He is awful. Kirk Cousins needs to go back with the family. The entire step.
He's a good fit in Minnesota.
No,
he played well there.
No, and he's too expensive. You're not like
should have signed Sam Darnold.
You have to pay me in order to take on Kirk Cousins.
I think they make a move.
No. Well, okay. Separate discussion. It's possible that they can make a move. I think that they certainly would not be happy.
I think Kirk Cousins will wind up somewhere else this week. He won't be in the Falcons on the end of Tuesday. He will not be there.
So if we talk trade deadline, quarterback news, I think that's probably the only thing worth mentioning. Running backs, I think there are a couple that could move. The one that I think it has a lot of steam associated with it, a lot of juice and savoriness would be Alvin Kamara. A lot of discussion on the hotbed of whether or not he moves on from the Saints. That's one. Another one that could happen would be look at the Tony Pollard of it all over in Tennessee.
Yeah,
they've got Tyjae Spears over there, the young rookie that they had. It's kind of too early for it. Otherwise, I think that they might. But Mr. Chuba Hubbard over there, potentially, I think if the Panthers were one game worse, I think that they would definitely give up Chuba. I don't think. I mean, yes, they have Rico Dowdle, who just went in Super Saiyan God mode for 2 games, just going absolutely bonkers for like 200 yards each game. I think that gave them a lot of belief and comfort in able to moving on from him. And even like somebody like Breece Hall from the running backs from New York Jets.
They ain't moving on him.
Why wouldn't they?
You're gonna get rid of Breece Hall?
Yeah, he's had a couple of games, and plus that's actually one part of the team that they have options.
I'd build around that guy. I wouldn't get rid of him.
Either way, I think that's some guy that they might be able to get rid of, or not get rid of, but certainly get some value back from.
Yeah, you'll get value for him, but I'd keep him.
Yeah, so
personally,
I don't know. I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you're looking at teams that would want a running back, that's a team that would be in contention. That would want one. They certainly need one. You're looking at the Chiefs, another team that could definitely use. I mean, right now they've got the most effective short and yardage weapon in Kareem Hunt. Weirdly enough, he like 4th and 1, he's automatic. 3rd and 1 or whatever and 1, he's an automatic 2 yards. The problem is he's from, you need 2 yards to get a first down. He's your guy. You need 10 yards to get a first down. He's only got 2 yards in him.
Wake up, Pacheco.
Exactly. That's your problem. That's your problem.
No, the Chiefs receiving game is really strong, right? Yeah.
Now that it's healthier.
They're lacking in their running back, but yeah.
Yeah.
How about receivers? How about Calvin Ridley from Tennessee? He's sitting there, 30 years old. He's still got 1,000-yard season in him.
I don't know that he has that.
I think he does.
I do not know that.
You wouldn't go after him?
The only team that I could see that has something to give up that I think anybody would be wanting to buy, potentially the Bears. Look out for that team. I think that they have a bit of they have a bit of a glut as far as wide receiver goes over there. DJ Moore might be a wide receiver that might be gettable over there for them, from them, I should say.
Ooh, how about this guy? This is not
the
Bears.
Bills would be a buyer for a wide receiver.
How about AJ Brown?
He's an Eagles like staple.
No,
not
well
anymore.
I think
he's still a big man.
Historically,
He can get you something.
Where I will go with you is I think for sure where I would take the bet after the season he's gone. I feel like
I think so. So why not get something for him now?
Well, because if he is the exclamation point to your team to where we can do all this without AJ Brown, and we get AJ Brown as to draw coverage from Devontae Smith, who I think on a lot of teams could be a number one himself in his own right. And we got AJ Brown to be that exclamation point, to be that something. And they have a locker room culture that is able to withstand the nonsense that he provides, the ambiguous tweets that he has, the quotes, the Bible quotes that he's just going out and the books that he's reading. I mean, my goodness, it's a lot. But credit where Nick Sirianni very very small, very minusculely deserves credit. The culture's been able to withstand an AJ Brown, which I'm shocked.
I know you hate that guy, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
We do have a text that's real quick. It's from Neil's best friend.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we don't have. Okay.
That's horrible.
That is awful. I mean, Jesus, Shannon. We were on such a good page to start.
Blissful Hayes on the line says, "Who's worse, quarterback, Tua or Kyler?"
I would say Tua.
You have to say Tua because of the concussion protocol, everything he's gone through. And I think if you took that out of it, I like Tua better than Kyler.
I mean, what made Tua great was his processing speed, right? Like he was able to diagnose and get and predict and be able to get everything.
I think Tua has more potential also on a better team with a better coach. I think Kyler Murray is just
he had more potential. I don't know if he does anymore.
Yeah, the problem, Kyler Murray still has a lot of the great gifts that merited him going number 1 overall in his
Just not
draft.
height.
Still waiting to see it.
It's the height. No, he throws a beautiful ball. Like a lot of
All
this
I
stuff,
keep hearing was that he was like the star quarterback in kindergarten about
Well,
Kyler
yeah,
Murray.
like in flag football, he throws a
Yeah.
beautiful
he was
ball
the
against
tallest kid.
8-year-olds.
Yeah,
but that's not translating to the NFL.
in the practice field, he throws a beautiful ball, like, and all this stuff. I get it. You put him on on the actual game day, and then he goes out there and then he just scrambles like a kid lost in Walmart trying to find like where the dollar ball is. I get it. There's a lot to be negatively said about Kyler Murray. Where I will there's a lot. Where I will not stand for recourse is saying that Tua Tagovailoa has more potential than Kyler. Kyler Murray is nothing but untapped potential. Like my goodness, he is like that. That is his middle name.
I feel like he had so many opportunities with the Cardinals, and he's disappointed.
Yes,
absolutely,
100%.
And those idiots signed him.
Yeah,
extended
again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're all agreeing there.
Yeah, look for it's boring, so I'll just do a general category. Defensive additions, the Ravens are going to be somebody to look out for. Like I think the New York Giants might be a team now with Cam Scatterbo gone and kind of like their whole offensive engine gone. They might be a team that sells here on Tuesday and like get rid of like a Dexter Lawrence or something.
And Jalen Phillips and Trey Hendrickson could be on the move too. So we'll have to watch those
That would
guys.
be tough, but yeah.
Those are possibilities. So, hey, that's our show.
Woo! Happy Halloweenies, everybody.
Happy Halloweenies.
Is
Thank
it
you.
Halloween?
It was.
It was.
Oh, okay.
Sports Dairy, come on. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
That
for
was a
having
lot of
me.
fun having you
Always
here.
fun. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Ralph.
Hey, everybody, thanks for spending part of your weekend with us. We absolutely appreciate that you give up that 2 hours for us. We hope you had a good time. Don't forget tonight, Game 7 of the World Series. You want to watch that. It's going to be something special is going to happen. I can feel it. We'll see you next week. It's the Weekend Warriors on our network. I don't know.